months.
The Red Pill phone tap. Welcome.
You gotta let the beat drop. You can't just disrupt the beat drop.
Well, the beat dropped. That's. I mean,
no, I saw you waiting for it. That's why I was like, I know you waiting for the beat drop. That's why I was like, yeah.
Letting everybody behind the curtain here of how we produce this show. Welcome to episode 24 of the Red Pill phone tap. We have a lot of good things for you tonight. Anthony and I...
Don't we always?
I mean, don't we always? Anthony and I spent a lot of extra time this week on show prep as we try to bring a phenomenal show to you every week. This week, we have some great topics, a lot of them influenced by a lot of you out there. Tonight, we are going to talk about three very good topics. Because they're so good, I'm going to be honest, I'm terrified we're not going to get to all three because all three are very good. That's why we're going to have to jump right into this because this is going to be a jam-packed show. The first topic we're going to cover tonight is shame. And how much are you allowing shame to influence your daily life? And we'll go into some real specifics on this, but we've got some good political takes on this, and you don't have to be right or left or agree or disagree with us politically to observe what is really happening out there. These are just facts that we're bringing up. We're going to talk about tonight, and our good friend of the show, Ryan, has influenced this segment of the show, and I think Ryan was tuning in earlier on the live stream. But Ryan, although he wanted me to get to another topic, he encouraged me to go into a different topic. And guys, we're going to talk about chameleons and what they are in the manosphere and the red pill community. We're going to talk about them at length, and I'm going to share some really personal experiences with that because this is a topic, I'll be honest, I've just come around on. I always thought, let's just say differently for sakes of the introduction here. I used to think differently about this until very, very recently. So we're going to get some thoughts on that. Fortunately, you've got Anthony here that has been very, very big on chameleons for a very, very long time. So I think he's going to bring a lot to the table on this. And then lastly, guys, a third segment tonight, we're going to talk about fundamentals in dating and why it's even more important when you do really especially get excited about a chick, staying on fundamentals. And it's even more important, guys, when you're not really into a bitch. When you have kind of low attraction or very, very high attraction, why it's so fucking important to stay on your fundamentals. I bet a lot of you would guess, dating fundamentals, a lot of your Corey Wayne stuff, I bet a lot of you would guess that it's super important to be on your fundamentals of dating when you're very, very attracted to a woman. However, sometimes I think it's more important to stay on your fundamentals when you're not into a chick. And Anthony and I will discuss that in a lot of detail for you. Let's get to the first topic here. Shame and how it can control your life. I got to tell you, sometimes, and the reason I'm really passionate about this topic tonight is because I've observed what's happening in politics. And again, guys, we don't want to get divisive on this show or too political. But Anthony and I were talking this week as we were doing some show prep for you guys. And one of the things that we observed, and again, whether you love Trump, whether you love Biden, whether you love Bernie Sanders, this is undeniable what we're about to point out. Okay? So on the Democratic side or on the political left, you're going to see the Joe Biden running for president. You're going to see them cater a lot to undecided voters. because these are people they can swing, right, Anthony?
Supposedly.
Yeah. Supposedly, right? And there's going to be a lot of money spent on getting these people that are what we call centrists that can be swung one way or the other. If you are a far left person and a far right person, we know how you're voting. And let's just be honest. Both parties, they're not going to spend a lot of money on the far lefts and the far rights, are they?
No.
Because they got your vote already. They already have your vote.
Or don't have it.
Or don't have it. Exactly. Or they don't have it. But what we noticed is on the left, and we don't mind telling you who we support politically. And by the way, guys, it's okay to fucking disagree with people. I see this on Twitter all the time. If I support a candidate, all of a sudden I'm racist? Motherfucker, you don't know me.
Right.
Like, we have talked about this on the program before. Not every person that supports Trump is racist, but every racist probably supports Trump. You see how that's different?
Right.
But you can't accuse people of being racist because they support Trump. We've never shied away from this on our program because we know our truth. Anthony and I are huge Bernie Sanders supporters, right? Mm-hmm. And let me tell you how shame is used against us. If we were a centrist and we were undecided, they would sit there all day and be like, well, hold on a second. We're pretty good on the issues and da-da-da-da-da. And by the way, guys, before I get the chats and the emails, if you are Republican, you are welcome to this program too. More specifically, I think the left and the right need each other. I know that's an extreme opinion for a progressive like myself. But dude, ain't nobody on this program turning away Republicans. If you're a smart guy and you know your truth and you have great takes,
and you got all
good for you. You're not an enemy of this show. We're not afraid to discuss ideas on this show. So before you send your emails and you're angry, Bernie Sanders can't afford anything. Okay, cool. Guys, this is what I want a lot of you to know. This is what drives me crazy. Guys, when we're talking about political stuff, can we all agree that none of us fucking know the future? You can have a great policy in place whether you're right or left. You can have a great policy in place and it can have some shit happen that you were never predicting happen. Like NAFTA. Some cool shit happened, but a lot of bad shit happened. And it was a lot of things couldn't fucking predict, you know? And NAFTA's a good example because the left and the right have supported it, right? Mm-hmm. It was drawn up by the left, but then George W. supported it on the right, and then Obama came in and said he was going to change it and then never did, right? So, I mean, that's a good example of a policy. It had these results that we could predict, but then it had all this other bullshit could predict. So when it comes to politics, guys, this is why I encourage you guys not to fight a lot amongst each other, because all you're doing is weatherman shit. You're just forecasting the future. Let's just say all your political shit got passed through Congress and all your policies got passed. We still don't know the fucking future, okay? So we're just arguing about weather predictions, okay? I digress. What I wanted to point out was the way shame is used on the left side, where if I was a centrist and I was undecided, the Democratic Party would cater to me and try to get me to vote for Joe Biden. But if I'm a left progressive, like Anthony and I are, all they got to do is just shame us online and be like, really? Really? So that's what you're going to do? You're going to vote for Trump? And it's like, why would I not vote for Trump? You guys aren't going to give a shit. You're not going to be progressive. You're going to stay the same neo-Democrats that you've been under the Obama administration and all of the shit under the Clinton administration. You're not progressive. I'm not getting what I want anyway, so what do? Maybe I should just vote for the other guy until you guys give us some shit. I know the other guy is going to give us nothing on the right. But maybe I got to vote for him. And again, guys, we haven't decided who we're voting for, Anthony and I both. We've already had this conversation. But it's a way of like, instead of coming to me with Joe Biden's ideas, you're going to be like, really? You're going to vote for Trump? You're a real fucking asshole. Xenophobe, racist, blah, blah. And it's just like, you're not telling me your ideas. You're not having a conversation with me. You're simply using shame. Okay, and that's just one example of how it's used. The only reason we're bringing it up, we're not trying to be political. The only reason that we're bringing that up is because it's a real common example of how easily, on a major, major world topic, people will reduce down to shame very, very quickly. And, Anthony, I've decided, man. I've decided this week I'm not surrendering to shame anymore. And let me tell you, gentlemen, we've talked about in this podcast before, Bob is not his real name, but Bob. Bob is, because he's been shamed so much by women in the dating world and the manosphere. And by the way, I've got to make sure, because we just got, that was the most political we've ever been on this show, ever. And I'm afraid to look at the live stream comments because people just get so fired up with politics, man. If they disagree with someone, they get to call people racist and just go dumb. Yeah. It's like, sorry, guys. Right or left, none of us can predict the future. We don't know what these policies are going to do. By the way, everyone's left the group. They're like, God damn it. But anyways,
I didn't come here for this shit.
I didn't come here. Hey, stick to the fucking dating, guys. Huh? Stick to what you know. Stay out of politics. Guys, we're not telling you what side to be on. We're just saying this is a real world example of like shame. It's not just, what we're trying to say is, it's not just women in dating that are doing it. That's what we're trying to say. This is a very common tactic even amongst non-women.
It's funny when people disagree with your political take, and they be like, "Shut up and just dribble your basketball." And then if they do agree, they're like, "Did you see what so and so posted?" I mean, the guy is so smart. I'm a fan of his now. I just got to be a fan of his now. It's like, are you that fucking basic? Really? You can be pulled to one side because somebody agrees with something you have. Like, if you found out Hitler likes peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and you love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, are you gonna be, well, Hitler wasn't that bad of a guy, was he? I mean, the guy loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. What can you say? What guy? How can you hate a guy that loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? So, you see how fucking simple that is? How basic you can be when you do shit like that?
Yeah, I know we're going on a little bit of a sidebar here, but I do think it's important. We talked about last week how important it is to have spaces where only men are, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's important because I think men are very good at talking and disagreeing face to face, by the way. Face to face.
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of, as men, because we have a lot of women in spaces and we've got to cater to their emotions. And I think because of the internet, where you just get to hide behind a keyboard and just say whatever the fuck you want, people have become real atrophied when it comes to disagreeing with one another.
Yeah. They become internet gangsters.
And since we got a little political, Anthony and I both voted for George W. Bush.
Yep.
We're not some kind of weird, crazy left-winger types. We're certainly not feminists. But it's just, our mind is going where... And by the way, I don't regret voting for George W. Bush. It's not like, well, in hindsight, I should have gone Al Gore. I thought Al Gore was just fucking... Jesus Christ, that dude loves a camera, don't he?
Yeah.
God damn, that dude loves a camera. But anyways,
he invented the internet, by the way.
Yeah, guys need to be a lot more comfortable disagreeing with each other without wanting to get violent and cursing and calling people names and... God damn it, dude. Calm the fuck down, everybody.
Right.
You just like somebody wears a MAGA hat and you just get to call them racist and come on, bruh. Like, come on. It could be racist. But that person without a MAGA hat could be racist as fuck too. You don't know.
Now, anybody with a red hat, you don't even know. It could be a Cincinnati Reds fan. And
yeah.
You're like,
racist.
Yeah. Nah, just like
it's okay to disagree. Calm down. All right. So that's our public service announcement for tonight. I promise we have no more. But Anthony, let's talk about how effective shame is in the dating world, in intergender dynamics between men and women. Because I think this is a really, really critical topic. Because I don't think men sit down and really deliberately see, is shame coming my way? What would you say the most common shaming tactic? I mean, if we're being specific, the common most shaming tactic, I know the one that Bob just recently had, and the girl didn't even say anything. The shame just showed up in his head was, I need to talk to her the next day after I slept with her because that means I'm a bad dude. If I didn't, no, dude, it doesn't mean that. And I explained to Bob, I explained to him, Anthony, you'll sleep with 20 bitches, and 1 out of 20 will use that shaming tactic on you. Like, oh, really? Is that all you wanted from me was sex? What the fuck? All you wanted was sex. And you're like, no. That's not all I wanted was sex. Hold on a second. I'll call you the next day. Please. Whatever it takes to stay on good terms with you. Oh, my God. Please. I'm not an asshole. I promise. And it's like, why don't those 19 other bitches that didn't do that, though, shouldn't they have more weight in how you live your life? Anthony, I'm not asking rhetorically. I mean...
Oh, I think that number is higher than 1, but if I'm going with your...
Would you say 1 in 20 or...
1 in 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. You're in the dating world right now. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm a married guy with a baby.
Think about it this, though.
I didn't get a lot of that. I did not get a lot. Well, I will tell you.
That's a commodity for them. So for you to... It's like buying something on Amazon and not giving a review. The people that are selling the product is like, wait, is our shit good or not? So they want to know, and they'll be like, hey, we'll give you $5 if you give us a review because we don't know if you like our shit or not. So I think a lot of women are more insecure because that's their ace in the hole. That's what they get to hold back from you in a negotiation strategy when it comes to trying to get you to feel some kind of way or manipulate you,
especially in relationships.
Right. When you're dating, not so much because that's just fun, right?
Yeah.
It's funny how that switches. All of a sudden, pussy or sex is a negotiation, is on the table for negotiation. I won't do it. And that's one of the things I would say. If I'm getting in a relationship with someone, if you ever feel like sex is a negotiation strategy, that relationship is over for me. I won't negotiate sex because you're feeling some kind of way. That's how I am in a relationship. So if you are going to hold sex away from me because you're in your feelings, then the relationship is not going to, be fruitful, and I will end it because I'm not gonna be in a relationship where you get to just hold that over my head because you're in your emotions.
And before anybody dismisses Anthony as an asshole on this, it's like what people are forgetting is in a relationship, the assumption is you cannot sleep with anyone else.
Right.
So bitch, if we were sleeping once a week before when I was still dating other bitches, well then once a week is not fucking... You got to account for all the sex I was having with bitches before.
Right.
Like you've got to, you've now got to cover up all that shit.
Yeah, their ego is not going to think outside of themselves.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's a huge shaming tactic. Is you didn't call me the next day. Now, Anthony, we've identified on this podcast many times before. We typically look at this as a red flag. This is the bitch that needs too much fucking attention.
Yep.
If she needs to be called the next day. I'm just wondering, if you slept with Rihanna, would she need a call the next day?
Did you hit that spot though?
I mean, I think Rihanna doesn't have a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right. I'm joking, but I'm saying that, and that's why I like confident women. I'm attracted to confident women because I don't have to babysit them. They know who they are before they met me. So meeting me doesn't change who they are, right? So if they're insecure, they were insecure when I met them. So they hid it from me, and now that something happened, now their insecurities are coming out. So now I'm like, oh shit, you're insecure, and it's okay, as long as you know it, and just like with shaming tactics, as long as you can recognize it, you know, okay, this is not going to happen to me, so I'm not going to allow you to do this.
Well, I mean, to me, Anthony, what you just said is what this segment is about.
Yeah.
You have to recognize the shaming when it comes, because your natural inclination to it and what you should be doing typically are two different things. Using the Bernie Sanders thing from earlier. Oh, really? So you'd vote for Trump? You would do that? Well, then you're a racist.
Well, go into more detail, Wesley, about when the Bernie situation, because what Wesley's left out is that Bernie is a more left progressive candidate, just in case you don't know.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have.
And he is imploring the more progressive left voters to vote for Biden.
Right, which is just two different ideologies.
Right.
And it's like, this is not, this would be like...
And the country is actually split when it comes to, even though more voters that voted for Biden, according to the polls, but the movement and energy was from Bernie.
Right.
So...
and again, we're trying to since we're getting political, we're trying to just give you facts here. But we're not trying to give a lot of opinion.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about policies at all.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about what happened.
Hey, maybe think Bernie Sanders sucks.
Yeah,
cool.
Whatever.
We're not here to argue that.
I'm saying what Bernie tried to do was to tell you to say, hey, I know your vote was for me and what I wanted to do, and in my movement you believed in what I wanted to make changes in, but now you should vote for this other guy who doesn't have any of those policies in place, and he doesn't speak to what you believe in, but you need to vote him because we don't want the other guy.
More importantly, this other guy that Bernie Sanders is suggesting, he's not only has none of the same ideas, but he's not even going to try to implement any of these ideas.
Right.
But for no reason other than, well, if you vote for Trump, you're a piece of shit. For no other reason than that, he wants us to go over there.
Well,
whether you're on the left or the right, certainly you can understand how those of us Bernie supporters, we're not getting anything in concession.
Yeah, but he called those people irresponsible.
No, man, I can vote for who the fuck I want.
Right, it's my shit. It's my fucking vote. It's not yours now because you're not in the fucking race. So now it's back on me, and I can do whatever the fuck I want to do with that vote.
And by the way, your shame does not work here. You have no power here. for our Lord of the Rings fans, I'm sorry. it's the same, but it's the same thing in dating. It's very much the same thing in dating. For example, and I wrote this down. There was and this is going to be my first level of advice about shaming, guys. If you turn your back and you don't own your truth, they've won. Okay? For example, the political stuff we were talking about earlier, and it makes me cringe to talk about political stuff here. I don't want to alienate anybody. Like I said, all of your political views are welcome here because guess what? We're all Americans and the Red Pill Phone Tab loves you either way. But in that example, they're not telling me why I should vote for this gentleman. They're simply telling me I'm a piece of shit because I'm voting for Trump. That doesn't compel me to do anything, guys. And I wrote down this earlier. And by the way, my first fundamental here is if you're not compelling me to do something, I'm going to hold my chin high. And I'm going to tell you, you have no fucking power here. Your shame does not work because I am confident in myself. And you're going to hear us, Anthony and I, when we were doing pre-show on this earlier this week, you're going to hear us say this phrase a lot during this segment. I stand alone if I have to with my principles and beliefs. I stand alone if I have to. Because guess what? If your principles don't work when it's hard, you don't have any principles. If your principles are only there when it's easy, you don't have any principles, guys. Okay? And just a real easy example. I had this girl come over, and she came over for a Netflix and chill night.
Was she a blonde?
She's a brunette.
Oh, okay. Details.
She was a Steelers fan.
Okay.
To those of you on this program that don't know, I absolutely hate the fucking Steelers, and I hate their fan base. So if you're a Steelers fan, if you're political left, right, or center, you're welcome to this program. If you're a Steelers fan, you're not. That's how extreme I feel about it. Unless you're a Steelers fan from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Most Steelers fans don't even know Pittsburgh's in Pennsylvania.
Or where the fuck it is.
Yeah. So, if you're from Pittsburgh, and you're a Steelers fan, you are welcome to this program. If you are a Steelers fan and you've never lived in Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh in your entire fucking life, go fuck yourself. You're a fair weather fan and you're not welcome to this program. And I said it and I mean it. So I don't want you guys to think, because I was talking about political shit and wanted to include everybody, I've lost my nuts over here either.
But
okay?
what if your dad is from Pittsburgh?
Don't fucking bring that shit to this program. You know why you're a Steelers fan. Don't fucking bring that shit. Because it's funny, Anthony, I never hear of someone's dad being from Phoenix and they're a fucking Phoenix Cardinals fan or Arizona Cardinals fan. I never hear that shit. You know what you're doing, you fair weather fuck. Don't bring that to this fucking program. And again, you're going to hear that a lot in this segment. You have to be able to stand alone. Anthony, we were doing pregame this week for this show. One of the things you pointed out is that Americans love winners.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you and I, we love Houston teams. And other than the Astros and Rockets.
Bad when you say it out loud.
Well, but
conjunction to
but
what
I'm
you
just saying
said,
our fanhood is not going to change next year or the last 3 years to the Golden State Warriors because they're winners. We don't mind being like, we're Rockets fans.
Right.
That's not changing. It's never going to change. Sorry, Golden State Warriors. Love you. Actually, I don't. Particularly. I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent. Right. At least the Steelers have that on me. I hate them. I hate their fan base. Other than the people that live in Pittsburgh.
Well, they used to be in our division too. So
that's another thing. Yeah,
natural
against the Oilers. But it's more of that front runner bullshit, Anthony. People that are afraid to stand alone. And fair weather fans have always got a fucking reason why they're a fair weather fan. Well, my aunt May, you know, she didn't like a lot of things in life, but she loved her Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you, because I was so close to Aunt May, and she loved the Steelers. And she worked at a shoe factory in Pittsburgh for 9 months before moving to Houston. Shut up, man. You know what the fuck you're doing. Statistically, the Steelers win the Super Bowl like every 11 years. I know what the fuck you're doing, you front runner, motherfucker. You should rep the city that's in your fucking hometown. And by the way, like I said, I'm not afraid to be controversial on this show. But Anthony was talking about America loves winners and how they start. All of a sudden, you'll see people in Houston wearing Golden State Warriors jerseys and shit. And I'm like, why is that? And Anthony, you were the one that answered the question. You're like, people are afraid to stand alone. They're afraid to stand alone. They don't really have a lot of principles because they're moving from moment to moment depending on what situation they're in. Mm-hmm. They've never really sat down and put in their brain what their personal constitution is.
Right.
And I've been teasing this girl that was a Steelers fan for a moment here, so let me get to it. So this girl comes over and she watches football, and Monday Night Football. I'll never forget. We're sitting there messaging back and forth. She comes over, and we watch football together, and then we end up going to the bedroom and sleeping together. And she's kind of playing hard to get at first. But what you guys need to know about this date, other than the fact that she's revealed herself as a terrible fucking Steelers fan from Houston, Texas, by the way. By the way, save your excuse why you're from Houston and you're a Steelers fan, because none of it will make sense. Anyways, but she's a Steelers fan, and we go to the bedroom, we sleep together, and she takes off. She drove over there with her own car. She takes off, and I wasn't particularly attracted to her, Anthony. So, but she was already at my house. She wasn't unattractive enough not to knock it out. Do you understand? And I think she could kind of sense that I wasn't that into her. So she texted me the next day, "Hey, thanks, it was a great time last night." And I texted her right back, "Appreciate it. It was fun." And she texted me a few more times that day. "I'm not going to text you back and forth." And so that was on a Tuesday. She texted me back on Wednesday, "Hey, how are we doing?" And I, with my chin up, I texted her, "Nothing much, just at work." In other words, guys, my principles are not like you come and do Netflix and chill, or in this case, Monday Night Football and chill, and we sleep together and I owe you something. Guys, that was in the year 2017 or 2018. But in the year, I don't know, Anthony, in the year 1956 and higher, you don't get shit for sex. And you're not going to make me feel bad about that, Anthony. If you came over and watched Monday Night Football and we slept together that night, and you're a chick that thinks now you're going to be my girlfriend automatically. I'm not dogging on chicks that sleep on a first date. I've been in relationships with bitches that I slept with on a first date. But they knew that if they slept with me on a first date, that doesn't fucking get them something. Right?
No.
I don't know. Am I being mean here, Anthony?
I haven't heard anything mean yet.
It doesn't make you eliminated, but it doesn't make you automatically my girlfriend either. You see what I'm saying?
Right. No special privileges. Everything is earned.
Yeah. Well, we both wanted to have sex, and we did. What's the problem? And by the way, anytime that girl texted me moving forward, I knew I was never going to see her again because my interest was very low. I wasn't physically attracted to her. But anytime she reached out to me, I didn't fucking dodge her Because I knew in my personal constitution, I don't want to see you anymore. But if you want to text me, I'm not going to avoid you either. I'm not going to fucking just disappear and ghost. I have the tenacity to be like, yeah, for me, it's not a match. And guys, how many women have done that to you? Before you start judging me, how many women have done that to you? You've slept with them. You can't find this bitch. They're just, I tell you what, Anthony, on this same topic, I'll tell you what, bitches have told me, like, we've gone on a date, we've made out, some of them I've even slept with them, and then I go to set the second date, and they just tell me, hey, for me, it's not a match. However they worded it.
Yeah.
And every single time I appreciated that way more than ghosting. I appreciated it, and I was like,
yeah.
And never did I do the fucking rage on them. Well, fuck you too, bitch, and fuck you! Because we know attraction's not a choice. Every single time I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I had a good time. Good luck out there. Every time. Because, guys, it takes a lot of courage for men to do it. So if it takes a lot of courage for men to do it, it takes 5 times as much courage for women to do it. So I respect the fuck out of that. And it makes it where you're not spinning your wheels anymore, right? I mean, have you ever had that happen, Anthony? Where they just tell you, for me, it's not a match.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like a duty to send them back out into the world being like, no rage from me. I felt like a duty to be like, cool, well, there's cool dudes out here that respect the fuck out of your candor. Thank you.
I didn't do all that. I just I cooled it and I was out. Like, it's an easy cut of the thread for me at that point. Because, again, like you said, attraction is not a choice.
Right.
And this is why I don't invest high early. Like, I don't put a lot of investment in the beginning. No matter how highly attracted I am, there's no big investment on me on the front end. A lot of guys invest heavy on the front end, and so they've invested so much that they feel like they should get something out of it because they've invested. And when they come back with zero, with no return, now they're upset because they invested so much. And it's your own fault, guys. Like, again, she didn't earn that investment. You volunteered it. So you can't get upset about them not wanting to reciprocate. So you that's why and it's funny because when women hear me say this, because I've talked to women about, I don't do high investments in the beginning of getting to know someone, because you are equally a stranger as I am. So you didn't earn anything with me just by being present. If you are someone I want to invest in, you have to show me that you have some kind of value for me to offer any kind of incremental increase in investments, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how I live my life. I'm not going to be shamed by you by saying that you're a good catch. This is another shaming tactic that you need to recognize.
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to get to.
I'm a good catch.
What shaming tactics you've experienced?
Well, women will tell you.
I want guys to like recognize these and be like, that doesn't work here anymore with me.
I'm not just some. You think I'm some kind of hoe?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because you want sex, all of a sudden you're calling her a hoe now.
Because I want sex, I'm calling a bitch a hoe, right?
Yeah.
No. All men want sex, you dumb bitch.
Exactly. And if we didn't want sex...
Word?
If we did,
word, you just hacked the whole game because you figured out men like sex? Oh, wow. That's brilliant.
If we didn't want sex, we wouldn't even approached you. That's just the facts. We didn't approach you.
But Anthony, I have a master's degree in finance. I mean, why don't you want to look at the whole package?
That does nothing for me at all. Like my balls and my dick are neutral when you say that.
To your educational background.
Right.
My balls and my dick are neutral. By the way, we're not saying that your master's degree in finance is not going to be awesome
right
at a job interview. But your master's degree in finance is not going to be great at cross-country sports, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And it's not great at dating either.
Right.
Unless your education makes you really interesting in conversation and analyzing world events. The problem is we don't see a lot of women in that stratosphere.
Oh, man, I was going to say, man, when I was waiting to see if you was going to say it, it's about the collective. If you can add that on top of having a great body or a cute face or a humorous or just having having any kind of humor involved, because like most girls think they're funny, but they're not all funny,
no.
Right? Like it kills me. But
because their friends will laugh at them because women just don't want to have conflict.
Correct.
Right? I mean, It's just
what I wanted to. It was something you was talking about earlier, and I wanted to kind of push on because I asked these questions when we were talking about pregame in this topic. I was like, "What is a shaming tactic?" And we were covering that. Though we was giving some examples. That's one or two examples. One of my other questions was, "How does it affect you?" Anytime someone, and you notice this, you have to notice this, and this is how you'll know if it's a shaming tactic. When the shaming language is thrown at you, it's not because they want you to be a better person. Like, why are you doing that? Shouldn't you be? Well, here's one that seems like they want you to be a better person, and it's a false flag. A real man would.
Yeah. That's probably the number one, right?
Yeah.
They'll bring in real man, or they question your toughness.
Well,
because this works. It works on guys, right?
Well, they're questioning your masculinity, and as men, we are naturally competitive, and to be challenged in our masculinity is like, wait, well, hold up. I am a man. I am a real man.
And instead of me observing what you're doing in this shaming tactic, let me prove to you that I'm a man. Right. Yeah, which is the same stuff with the political stuff. No. I'm not going to vote for Trump because I'm going to prove that I'm not a racist. Or, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But
I want to prove, and it's like that is where these shaming tactics take you guys. This is what we're trying to point out.
And the strategy is not for you to prove that you are a man. The strategy is
for them to get what they want.
To get what they want.
Yes.
Because you're not doing something that they want you to do. So now that they shamed you, now you have to alter your opinion or your verbiage or your actions to accommodate them so they can no longer shame you into doing something that they want you to do, say, or think about. So,
Anthony, just don't lose your thought. We have a couple of guys in the live stream. Larry, particularly, Larry Cheek, thanks for joining us tonight, by the way. Larry also has great takes. As Anthony goes into this, if you guys would share some of your more popular shaming techniques women do while Anthony does a breakdown of this, it'd be awesome, by the way. Sorry, Anthony, I cut you off.
No problem. Another thing that I'm noticing with the shaming, do people come at you like you're supposed to conform, or do they avoid you because they know you won't even listen to that shit? Because
hold on, I didn't follow that. Like, what's an example of that?
You know how when we're talking about shaming, I've noticed when people kind of understand, like if they had conversations with me at any point and they know that I'm not bothered by your shaming me at all.
Yeah.
Because you can say, well, I wouldn't date a man that wouldn't take me out on dinner and drinks. And I was like, well, shit.
Bullshit, because if Drake told you, let's go to Starbucks, you'd fucking go.
Even fuck Drake, because my thing is, that's who I am. And if your interest is in me, it's not about the drinks or the food or the venue. You're out with me to experience me. And if you need food, venue, and drinks to enjoy being around me, then it's not me who you want. You know what I'm saying? So I can be without you with no, skin off my back. I'm not worried about your wants in that moment. So cool. Oh, cool. And like you can say that. Oh, you don't care. Anthony don't give a fuck. Anthony, because I've when women knows that. Oh, don't say that Anthony don't care. Anthony's indifferent about that, or oh, you ain't gonna get nowhere with him with that girl, like that type of shit, right? And my friend was actually listening to because the girl that was like, she was like all into, oh, we gonna have sex, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, but I need my cell phone paid. And I immediately, because I was joking around with the sex shit, right? Ugh. And then as soon as she brought up money, I was quiet, and he was like, "Man, you just exit out the conversation." I say, "Sex and money is illegal, bruh." So he said, I didn't even think about that. I said, "Yeah, man, if a chick is talking about money for sex, man, are you serious?" I don't play those games. If a woman is not having sex with you for money unless she's a fucking prostitute, right? But sex ain't free in this society because you're gonna pay for it in some manner, right? And it's gonna be the thing that about where we come from on the red pill side is that we've earned sex if we do get it, because she's been on dates with other guys and didn't give them sex. Mm-hmm. But she's giving us sex in this date. We've earned it. We've earned the right to have sex because we've intrigued her. We've entertained her. We've got her curious. We made her. We increased her attraction level because we knew what the fuck we were doing. And one thing this lady was talking about, she said, "You're just teaching guys to manipulate women."
Good shaming tactic.
Yeah. And I was like, you mean I'm making guys better men so they can know and understand situations where they can increase attraction from a woman that's already on a date with them because the woman's already attracted to them? What the fuck are you saying?
That is a go-to, right? I mean, because you and I talked about that this week when we were talking about Bob. He was standing his ground in a different situation. This doesn't have anything to do with shame, but that was a shaming tactic that they went to. They said, in this specific situation, I don't want to sound cryptic so that people can understand. This ex-girlfriend had told him, "Hey, here's something. Confirm you got this text." And I told Bob, I said, "Do not confirm that text. That is a subtle way of giving you a command, and this is compliance." I was like, guaranteed, go down all of her text threads, whether it's with her bestie at work or with Big Dick Rodney. She's not like, "Hey, I want to suck your dick. Confirm you got this."
No, she's not.
No, because when you hit send, 1,000 times out of 1,001, that motherfucker goes through. This is a way to get you to comply. Well, he called someone and they were like, Why didn't you just go ahead and tell her you got the text message? This is manipulative. That tells you shaming comes from men too, Anthony.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That's in no way was that manipulative.
Yeah.
In no way was not coming back with, hey, I got your text, but no, bitch, did you hit send? Then I got it. We're not playing these games. Hey, confirm. Hey, here's something really shitty. And confirm you got it. Bitch, I ain't confirming shit. You know what I'm saying, Anthony? And then someone shamed him and said by him not confirming, he was being manipulative. I had literally, with Bob, had to go to Merriam-Webster and look up the word manipulative. Anthony, that word gaslights the fuck out of me. Because people are suggesting that we on this program are fucking manipulating people. No. On this program, we are teaching men to be okay with being men and not, right, in this segment, being fucking shamed for it. God damn it. It is okay that men desire sex. Because guess what? It's in our fucking DNA. It's in our physical fucking makeup. And if you want to reduce us to all you want is sex, then let us on this side of the spectrum, let us reduce you to, okay, so all you want is money and children.
Yeah.
Okay? It ain't that simple.
Right.
No one on this show is going to suggest that's all women want is money. No one on this show is going to fucking do that, because guess what? We cover 3 hours every week on this show, and Anthony, has it ever been hard?
No. Not even a little
these
bit.
Issues are so complex. It's never been hard for us to cover 3 hours. Let me ask you the adverse, Anthony. Have we ever had to, completely stop mid-thought and go, shit, the 3 hours is up. God damn it, I wish we had more time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is episode 24. I would say that's happened at least 11 times. We're like, well, fuck, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So if it was just as simple as men want sex and women want money, how in the fuck do we fill 3 hours every week? Every week, if this is not a far more complex issue.
Right. I really think if women were being honest when they talk about,
that's hard.
when we talk about shaming, that they kind of get stuck with what we're doing is actually working. So
look at that. Constantine joins the show.
Uh-huh.
When he would have appreciated the political stuff way more than anybody else. He comes in late. Welcome to the show, Constantine, on the live stream. Sorry, Anthony, I cut you off.
I think women don't realize that that's kind of like a defense mechanism when things are going right. Because this is the thing, too. When I guess women have this idea that this isn't a give and take situation. Just because men are honing their skills to be better around women on a one-on-one basis, that when we're teaching men to, because guess what, ladies, we don't know you specifically individually to know what's going to work on you specifically individually. We're talking in a generic sense, right? We're talking about how men and women communicate. So if you're taking offense to this because you think you're specifically being manipulated, then your ego too fucking big, bitch. Calm the fuck down. We're talking about women on a general plane and men on a general plane on how we interact and what's the best way to progress forward to getting what you want from the person you're interested in. And that shit work both ways. We, as men, understand that men struggle with this more than women do. Women...
because of our nature.
Right.
Yeah.
We tend to take more backseats than women do. Women are way more selfish in getting what they want than men are when it comes to the exchange between men and women.
I mean, men are, and we've talked about this on the program countless times. Men being selfless, men being loyal has helped our species get to the top of the food chain. You know, women being selfless and loyal to their offspring has helped get us help get us as a species to the top of the food chain. However, women being loyal in general, that hasn't been helpful for them. And no man should ever want a woman to be loyal, because that is not how their software is written. Their software, because when we were cavemen back in caves, and they counted on personal fucking protection from men, because men are much larger, more muscle density, more bone density. They had to literally count on men. It was way better for their survival to not be loyal to one guy and be able to kind of branch swing from one to the other. Very liquid, very, very liquid and like moving around, because literally their life depended on it.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what it is. So men that are really upset and really bent out of shape about women's loyalty, get past your red pill rage, because it's just not how they're made up. And the other thing, guys, is women are really, really big in groups. Women are really, really big. You got a couple of families hanging out and shit like that. I know a friend of mine told me about a lot of these pro golfers. A lot of the families will ride on the same private jets and shit like that. And there's this one pro golfer. I believe his name is Dustin Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry for our PGA fans that are watching that. But Dustin Johnson is just this handsome, I believe his name is Dustin Johnson. He's just this handsome motherfucker. And let me make sure that is his name. We're Googling it as we speak. But he's the guy, like, in the group. It is named Dustin Johnson. You see, he's this tall, statuesque guy. He can hit the golf ball really, really far. But he is known to be fucking a lot of these PGA golfers' wives. Like the families that fucking hang out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude. And it's one thing to look at Dustin Johnson, right? But let's look at the adverse. These fucking bitches love being with the most alpha of alpha guy. It is one thing, first of all, it should be in every man's constitution to be not doing this, okay?
Right.
This is an unwritten agreement that men have amongst each other, right? But Dustin Johnson, that's one side of it. The other side of it is these women see, like, even though their husband is a PGA pro, they're like, yeah, but he's an even better PGA.
Hypergamy. Abounds.
Hypergamy. I want to fuck that dude. Their inner like survival instinct is like, I too want my kids to be tall and statuesque,
right?
Like Dustin Johnson, and hit a golf ball even further than my husband.
Right. I was just about to go. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot better.
And it's instinctual. It's instinctual.
It's instinctive. Unfortunately, and men don't understand this, because our loyalty is at such a high level. And again, guys, this is what makes men great sailors. It's what makes men great soldiers. It's what makes men, And what makes men is great. Our loyalty, our devotion to a cause. It would have been way easier earlier tonight had we not brought up that we're Bernie Sanders fans. There's probably people on the right that just heard that and they were like, Fuck these guys.
Right.
No matter how palatable we made it for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No matter how palatable we made it, they were like, fuck these guys. Even though we were like, hey, if you're on the right, it's cool. We can have that conversation. No matter how palatable, they were just like, fuck those dudes, man. And it's because men are very tribal. They're very loyal to a point. If they're a Trump supporter, if you're not with Trump, then fuck you. You're with the other team.
Your enemies, yeah.
And your enemies. And again, guys, that's what I want you to observe. This is how loyal men are. Women are not like this. They're not.
They can lie and say they are, or they can believe that they are.
Yeah.
But when the rubber hits the road, and the guy that's in her eyes more alpha and more resourceful than you,
they're gonna fuck Dustin Johnson.
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and you as a man,
that's a perfect example because their husbands are PGA pros, but not better than Dustin Johnson. I can get an even better PGA pro, have him put his dick inside me,
right,
and then
possibly
impregnate me,
Yep.
and I can make this other PGA
pay
pro
for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll get the better kid and still get to ride this wave.
Get to ride this PGA paycheck. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Ride this beta buck. Man, listen.
And staying on topic, they'll shame you all the way down to the bank.
Right.
Well, our marriage wasn't going well. You knew our marriage wasn't going well, and you had me on a private jet with Dustin Johnson. I like you to do that to me. And they'll make it your fucking fault. They'll shame you because they suck Dustin Johnson's dick. Motherfucker. Oh, I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry. I had to pause. I was just like, I've remembered those times where women have done shit with other dudes to me, and they made me feel like, I was the cause of all this fuckery.
Well, if you wasn't so insecure,
why don't you trust me? I'm over here with Dustin Johnson's dick in my mouth, and I can't get you to trust me at all. Come on.
I can't even suck him off to completion. You keep calling me.
I'm not going to suck him off to completion. Will you trust me? I'm just going to put it in my mouth for a little bit, and you think I'm cheating on you. What's your problem? Why can't you trust me?
Oh, man.
Yeah, men would never say the "why can't you trust me" argument. That's another shaming tactic. What? Well, Jesus, why do you need to see my cell phone? Isn't there any trust? Yeah, there's trust. Can I see your cell phone, though? Why? I can't believe you don't trust me.
That's funny because that's one of Donovan.
Donovan Sharp talks about that all the time, doesn't
he? It was one thing for me. I remember when I was listening to him say that, and I'll explain a little bit. It's just in case you don't follow Donovan Sharp. Donovan Sharp, before when the chicks get to him and say, "Hey, Donovan, I like you. I'm into you. We have a lot of fun. I'm thinking about us being in a relationship. But so, what are you thinking about that? Like, shouldn't we be in a relationship?" And Donovan goes,
by the way, probably shaming him into it, right?
Well,
they're probably like, "Hey, where's this going?"
Yeah, that's another shaming tactic. Yeah.
Hello.
I've given up.
You've been getting this vagina for 4 months.
Right.
Excuse me.
I should get titles.
I'm ready for the payday.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I deserve a title and some Facebook interaction where you get to put we're in a relationship.
Anthony, drop it on him. What does he do? Because I already know the answer to this, but what does he do to them? I want you to.
He was
every time.
He was like, cool. But this is what I require. If you want to be in a relationship with me, hand me your cell phone.
Unlock it and hand me your cell phone.
Right now.
Right now.
And then they get the hemming and hawing and pausing
and then he goes, yeah, honey, yeah.
Exactly.
So that's my answer.
Right.
Well, it sounds like you're giving me an ultimatum.
No. See, this is another thing. This is what pisses me off, right? Women has been able to get away with all this shit forever.
All these shaming tactics.
And anytime you hold them accountable for anything of the same thing that they're asking you to be accountable for, they can't fucking do it.
They can't. And
when they can't do it, they blame you for being insecure or untrusting.
Or let's just call it what it is. When they can't comply with the same terms, they use a shaming tactic. Right.
They want you to trust them without any evidence of trust to be had. Because, bitch, I know there are Wesley called Rodney in your goddamn DMs, Chad, Tyrone, and what is that? What Donovan say? Mike from sales, Larry from sales, Kevin from sales.
Kevin from sales
is all in your goddamn text messages and DMs. And I know this. And I know you're sending fucking titty shots from the bathroom. I know you are. So I want to see. You want commitment from me? I want to see just how committed are you to me right now. Because if you're only committed to me and you want my commitment, you can show me that.
I can already read our emails and messages on this shit. I can already read it. Well, I mean, why would my phone be totally prepared? I mean, why would it be totally prepared? I mean, I didn't know that.
You're asking me to give up my life to be with you, and that is our life. And you're telling me that I can't trust you? I don't need to ask for proof of trust? When you go to a bank and say, hey, I want to borrow $1,000. Just $1,000 fucking dollars. They want proof that you have credibility to pay them back. And you can't go in and talk about why you need that. You should just fucking trust I'll give you your $1,000 back.
This is such a good analogy, by the way. This is such a good analogy.
Why are you asking for a credit proof? A proof of my credit line.
Why can't you trust me, Bank of America? What is this? Capital One, why can't you trust me?
Your vagina is not getting you that loan, I promise you. But you get to shame a man and tell him that he's a piece of shit for asking you to prove that you actually deserve to be in a relationship with him. Guess what? You said, why aren't we in a relationship? I need to see your cell phone. I need to make sure you ain't.
I mean, more specifically, I need to make sure you're not texting while we're together, because apparently you've mentally moved into this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know you're not talking to other dudes, because, oh, wait, when I magically wave a magic wand and say we're in a relationship, you're just going to cut it off? Bullshit.
Exactly.
Bullshit, dude. Yeah. Bull fucking shit. Anthony, what is again, because you're in the dating world, what's a shaming tactic that maybe they're not ready for? What do you think?
And you gotta give me these questions in advance, man.
No, I'm just kind of spitballing, because I think before we can take this power away, we have to prepare these guys for like what's coming.
Recognizing it though, this is the thing. That's why we were talking about how you recognize it. Anytime they want you to do something that you're not doing, that is fucking shaming, because they're not, like I said, they're not trying to tell you, oh, you're doing a good job, I'm gonna shame you into working out and getting bigger, and you know what I'm saying? No one's shaming you into working out and or reading the book and get better. No one's shaming you into doing that. If they are, hey, good on them. because they're shaming you to be a better you. They're shaming you because they want something from you.
I'll be honest. I don't even like that. But I like where your head's at. I do.
I'm saying even I don't mind critique. It may be off base. It may be something I know I need, but I can't implement in my life right now. Fine. That don't mean I got to stop what I'm doing. I feel bad because I'm secure enough in myself to know who I am, what I can, what I can't do. But for guys that may seem like, hey, I'm not on my purpose as I really want to be, and someone is shaming you for not being someone, that's why I'm hard on myself enough that somebody trying to be harder on me doesn't affect me, because I have goals that I don't always speak of, but when I do speak of them, it's probably because I'm actually working on those goals. So there's nothing really you can say to me that'll fuck it up for me in my head, because I'm too secure in how I know what I need to do to get it. You may have questions about me about it's not happening, or why it hasn't happened, or if it's gonna happen, it would have already happened. You may have those type of questions, but that doesn't affect me. That's why a lot of times, guys, the only time I would share a goal of mine, if I'm talking about you guys, because this is work for me, only time you share a goal is you want somebody to help push you, because you're having issues as far as staying on task, staying on goal, staying on point when it comes to moving forward in your life, and you have somebody you trust that it's not going to just, one, there's like a partner to remind you that, hey, you said you wanted to do this. Now you're doing this. How the fuck are you going to get there if you keep doing this? That's their, but women, no. Women are doing it because for selfish reasons. We just said it. They naturally have a selfish mentality.
You're so right, dude. Because you were saying that. I don't mind sharing my goals with someone so that I have someone to keep me on track. Right? Very rarely will I share my goals with a woman because I fear that it will be something that they use to try to control me for their benefit later.
Theirs.
Yeah, so they can get something out of it. I have specific examples on that, but that is a different segment altogether. Anthony, let's move on to our next segment here called Chameleons. If you're not big into the red pill community, you may not know what we mean by chameleons, okay?
But that's why we're here to explain it to you.
Exactly.
And I've been holding back because I've been wanting to say the shit because it goes so well with the topic we just covered.
Yes.
So I've been holding back information.
Well, Anthony, explain to our audience what a chameleon is in the red pill community.
Well, we talk about red pill being really a space for men.
Yeah.
And having a space for men where we can freely discuss our lives and how to become better men.
I don't believe you, Anthony. Here's the thing. All spaces need to be for both sexes. For example, if you're talking about how painful it is to give birth to a child, men should be able to participate in that discussion. Don't you agree?
No.
Are you saying when it comes to menstrual pains that women are having and they're talking about their own bodies, men can't participate in that conversation?
No.
Hold on a second. When you start talking about the pressure of how you have to be beautiful as a woman, you're saying that men can't participate in those conversations.
If you're a prince, maybe. But no.
I agree with you 100%. There's a lot of topics women have that men really can't understand or participate in. So for ladies, I'm
okay with that.
And I'm okay with it too, because there is not a lot of pressure on us to be beautiful as men. There's some, but we'll never really understand the pressure because I'm very forward about this. Yes, dude. Women need to be beautiful in our species. In our species. Women need to be beautiful to be important. And I know that, man, that's making a lot of people mad. But, dude, it just is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Elizabeth Warren, that people can't look at you and go, that's even a woman. No matter what she's accomplished, we're going to look at her and go, doesn't really look like a woman. You kind of look like a dude.
I'm going to be honest with you.
That was very controversial.
Yeah.
This has been a very controversial show.
Yeah, that's what we do, though. Kamala Harris is easier on the eyes, so she will be.
I think she's pretty, actually.
Yeah, well, you
don't think she's pretty?
Yeah, I don't like
you said a little easier on the eyes, and we were talking about Elizabeth Warren,
right?
A little easier on the eyes, motherfucker. One of them looks like a female of the human species. One of them does not. Jesus Christ!
I always give space for people who don't find people that I find attractive not attractive, right? So, it is what it is. But Elizabeth Warren is not attractive in even a little bit in my eyes. So,
but she's got her place. Like, I don't
78-year-old men, maybe. But.
Yeah, but I don't dislike her politics.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm separating that. I'm
just saying she's not valueless.
No. Yeah. I'm saying that
we agree on that. I mean, she's we were just talking about progressive left. We're both progressive. She's progressive. So I'm not saying that, but I'm like, motherfucker, it wouldn't help you to put on some. It wouldn't hurt you to put on some lipstick, bitch. Jesus Christ, can you just look like little bit like a fucking woman? Are you ashamed of being a woman? God damn it.
It looks that way, yeah.
So what are you saying, Wesley? That women got it? No, I reject your shaming tactics. Stop. What I'm saying is what everyone thinks and no one's saying it. You're welcome for this information. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But again, Anthony, you're the nice one on this show. I'm the mean one. My bad.
Well, yeah. I forgot what the fuck I was going with that one. But
I'm sorry. You were talking about Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
This topic is talking about chameleons.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was actually making a side note that you was talking about how beauty is important, and I was like, Kamala Harris being a vice president is more valuable to Biden than Elizabeth Warren because people like attractive people.
Sorry. It's just facts, man.
That's why Hollywood stars get all the fucking hype.
But hold on. And I'm going to coin this on this show as the hashtag Adele factor. Remember when Adele was fat as fuck? The singer, Adele?
Yeah.
But bitch could sing her fucking ass off. Guess what? Bitch could sing so fucking good, didn't nobody fucking care.
Nope.
Didn't nobody care if she was 300 or 400 fucking pounds. No bullshit. Sometimes you overcome that shit because your talent is just so fucking high.
Right.
Reggie Miller in the NBA looked like a fucking Star Trek alien.
Yeah.
But goddamn, he could shoot like an angel.
Ass off, yeah.
Goddamn. You know, I mean, Michael Jordan is so handsome, we recognize his silhouette on his cologne bottle. Reggie Miller looked like, what was that race of people on Star Trek with the pointy teeth and shit? And like, you better be able to shoot like a motherfucker if you look like this.
Right.
Sam Cassell,
yeah.
the giant fucking back of his head, like goddamn. But You can overcome it. We're not saying you can't.
But you have to be phenomenal.
You got to have the Adele factor.
Yeah.
Your voice better be fucking amazing. Aretha Franklin, we have never cared how much weight that bitch put on. Mm-mm. Never. Jesus, Aretha Franklin.
Luther Vandross?
Well, but he's a guy. We're talking about... Men don't have the same pressure to be attractive that women do, dude. I always point this out.
Yeah,
I can never... I think about this a lot because I have a daughter. We can never really understand. And women want it to not be true so fucking bad. They really do. Just like that male peacock who walks around with like one feather. He's like, what the fuck, man? These feathers aren't that big a deal, right? I mean, am I right? I mean, peacock rights, right? I mean, sorry, peacock. Well, I'm sorry, bud.
What is the cosmetics is $1 billion industry for a reason.
Is it? What's that all about?
Right.
You're saying that women care about the way they look? Is that true?
Yeah. What they call that lipstick that every woman like MAC lipstick?
Well, yeah, MAC makeup, because I used to actively buy that for my ex-wife when I was blue pill as fuck. You would be blown away how much that shit fucking costs. And the marketing dollars that they put into the celebrities that endorse this shit, I don't even... Guys in the live stream, hit me up, yes or no. Is Cardi B currently a MAC model? I could be wrong, but I'm only saying it because I haven't looked it up. They always have the most important person in pop culture as their model, MAC makeup. So apparently, Anthony, there's a lot of gross profits over on their side. Who we got here? Ryan, women want to avoid aging due to their sexual market value peaking at 25 and 30. I mean, the people here in the live stream are right. I mean, it's very, very important. But this topic is about chameleons, Anthony. And you're talking about chameleons. These are women that come into the red pill community and they're like, you guys are right.
Right.
Looks are important with women.
Yeah.
You guys are right. Women hypergamy is at an all-time high since the internet came out, right? I mean, am I right? Fellas? Yeah.
These fucking enlightened bitches that's like...
They're not telling us anything we don't know.
Right.
But we're so excited that other women
yeah,
see this.
I wanted to point out to you exactly why the word chameleon is actually used.
Well, that is who they are. And go ahead and go into this, Anthony.
Well, think about what a chameleon is, right? It's a type of lizard.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a type of reptile.
Right. Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded as fuck.
Fucking reptile. And it is doing something out of fear for his own survival.
Wow. Hold on. Let me go wow twice. Wow on what you just said, but wow on the show prep. Jesus, Anthony, nice. Thank you. National Geographic is sponsoring this show, ladies and gentlemen.
But it is blending in, okay? It is not a part of the environment. It is
that it's blending into. I never thought of that. So if it's trying to be the color of this plant, it's not one of those plants.
At all. So it's not becoming anything. It is still what it is.
A lizard.
Yes. It's still a fucking lizard. And it's going... And guess what? Some lizard can do. Some lizards can lose their fucking tail to survive. They're willing to amputate a part of their body to still survive. So being a chameleon is only a part of it. But once the fear or they feel like they're going to survive, guess what? They go back to being their original color. They're not going to stay hidden. to where they feel like they are a part of that environment, man. This is why they're so dangerous. Because men will bring down their fucking walls of defenses and be like, oh, wait, no, this bitch gets it.
This is the cool one.
And guess what else women want? What they always want. They want our fucking attention. So if this is a bitch that's been getting ignored all her life, and she realized if she gets on board to what men are saying in this space, and she was like, you know what? I'm going to adopt that belief system. I'm going to say, hell yeah, hypergamy is something that exists, and yes, that's what we do, and we should take account of what hypergamy is, and I want to tell women about it. And I told Wesley about this before. I told Wesley about this before.
They want that round of applause.
Yes, they want it. They want it. I told Wesley this before. I said, if women were actually going out and telling other women this, then it would mean something to me. But you're in the same
they're
thing.
They're grandstanding to men.
Right.
Which means they have no skin in the game.
Not at all.
None. Motherfucker, you're sitting over here. This is the bitches that are like in high school. All of my friends are guys. All of my friends are guys. I don't have a lot of friends there. All my friends are guys. This is the adult version of that fucking bitch. All my friends are guys. It's like, yeah, because you can say anything over here in this community, bitch. Over there in that female community, they will put your ass on a fucking cross.
Yeah,
for that shit.
Good luck trying.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck trying to speak red pill knowledge in a female group. They will crucify your ass. You will be the new Jesus, bitch. Go try it if you want to, but you won't. You will stay in where you can hide, and then you can be applauded that you fucking believe in. What? Let's just say, what you believe in the shaming. Just choose the topic that we use. That women shame men, in a manner to get what they want, and not to make the man better, but to get what they want from that man.
Right.
And now you're like, yes, that is so true. And what you want a cookie, bitch? Yes, we come up with the actual.
Hold on a second. Did they admit that's what's really going on?
Well, the Chameleons will admit, yeah. Thank you.
Let's not let them not get a round of applause,
because
that is their real motivation. Yes. Their real motivation is not the fucking truth, guys.
Right.
And Anthony, you've been on this for a minute. I was the last one to come over on this. That these women in the red pill community, these chameleons, I was the last one to come over, man, because I really thought we could have discussions, as we talked about earlier in this program, with Republicans and Democrats and moderates and everybody. We should all be able to talk, and I thought women was part of it. The way women are built, guys, and I'm new to this, so Anthony, you're gonna handle the heavy lifting of this segment.
Yeah.
But I'm new to this because this just happened in something we talked about recently in a Facebook group that you and I were both in, and it was like and we put up a post of women and their stages in life and how many eggs were in the carton, and it was very much like, okay, you're in your most fertile here, and you're just going through your party years. Over here, you're half the number of eggs, and you're just, but I'm a strong woman, and making yourself unattractive to men. And then the egg carton's empty, and they're like, I'm ready to settle down. Well, bitch, don't nobody want you now. I mean, you're not fertile any fucking more. And the way this species works is we want bitches to be fucking fertile. A woman in the group got offended and said that post reduced them to baby making factories, and because they were not able to have children, that post needed to be censored and taken down. That post had nothing to do.
How did you know
with
about
infertile bitches?
Yeah, how did you even know about this bitch? Like you went in, like, I'm about to offend this bitch.
I'm about to offend this bitch. I'm about to attack this bitch. Yeah, before I post anything, I need to know exactly who I'm going to offend. And No. That has nothing to fucking do with that.
Honestly, I didn't even know women was in that group before that.
Me neither. By the way, that didn't affect what the fuck I posted.
Yeah.
But me neither. I was very much like, okay, I didn't even know women were here. Okay. It's how to be a... By the way, before you guys beat me up on this, the name of the group is How to Be a 3% Man. And there's women in the group. By the way, that's cool if you want to hang out. But let me tell you, they couldn't just hang out and observe. They got offended. They said that women were reduced to be in baby-making factories. And I realized, Jesus fucking Christ, Rollo Tomasi, Donovan Sharp, and all these red pill experts were right. You can't fucking let women into the group. Now, Rollo Tomasi points out, and I haven't observed this yet, but I'm sure I will. Rollo Tomasi will point out that women will take all these red pill ideas and they'll try to act like they're their own.
Yes. That's the point. That's the part that I get pissed off about the most, because they act like when they come in and repeat what they've already had heard, that now they're on some it sounds better because it came from a woman, so now it's different.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah, they're letting us behind the curtain. Meanwhile, women are the last to know what they want. And
unless they find a man.
That offends women so much.
Yes, it does.
That offends them so much. And by the way, it should, because I'll be honest, ladies, I don't know how the fuck that you guys are the last people to know what the fuck you want. You're literally so fucking out of touch with it that if I ask you what you want to date, what kind of guy you like, and you tell me, I'll look at the current and last 4 dudes you dated,
and it's not what you said.
Not what you just said.
Yeah.
100%.
But they always looking for when this is what they say when they want a man. I want a guy to be a leader. Why? Because you can't lead yourself fucking self when it comes to a relationship. When you get in a relationship, you need him to be a fucking leader. That's why you want one.
He's a leader when you come in, and then any kind of power they can take, they're hungry hippos.
Yep.
Trying to grab it. Then the guy is nice to them, and they grab all the power because the guy's nice and gives it to them. And then next thing you know, they're like, "Oh, fuck this dude."
Yeah.
Well, then why'd you grab all the power if you didn't really want it? They don't really know.
They can't.
Because they don't really know what the fuck they want.
Nope.
By the way, this show is not innovative,
right,
by pointing out that women don't know what they want. But we're trying to point out that when women talk about red pill shit, they're repeating what men have already said.
Exactly.
They're not arriving at these observations on their own or from other women.
And you know what? This is the thing. I see people. I see women calling themselves queens a lot, and you can't be a queen without a fucking king first.
And by the way, as Patrice O'Neal pointed out many times, the king-queen system is a damn good system.
Yeah,
it's a damn good system. You get to be second in charge of the whole land.
Yes.
Bitch.
Second.
Well, there's this one king over here, though, that's got more castles and land and shit.
But you can still be a queen, but he has to be a king. That's just what it is. You can't just be a queen and be like, you know what, I'm going to get me a king. That's
I think
not how
every
that works.
relationship, Anthony, should be 50-50. That's what I think. That's how Google is run, and that's how Microsoft is run, is everyone in the company has got 50-50 power.
This is why I only
Guys
date.
don't understand why companies can't be 50-50.
This is why I only date women that are looking for a program.
You didn't
to
let me
follow.
finish my sentence, Anthony.
Yeah, I don't know. the long. I didn't
What are you
finish,
talking about?
But you want me to let you finish that shit.
Let me finish talking.
But yeah, if you can't follow me and get with my program, and you are fighting me, I'm gonna let you fucking go, because obviously you know what the fuck you want to do anyway, so you don't need me. So go be with someone else that's gonna allow you to do that shit. I can't do it. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fucking struggle with you to get with my
but
program.
Anthony, I believe all the same things you believe. I believe in Corey Wayne. I believe in Donovan Sharp. And I believe in Rollo Tomasi. And I'm one of the cool ones. You don't understand. I'm one of the cool ones.
I used to be so impressed when the woman would give me football references, like, this bitch watches football, or she's really into sports. And I used to be like, God damn, this bitch really likes sports. But when I realized that even if she does, I can't give her more credit than the next bitch, because she's probably did that as a survival technique, because she's probably bad at other shit that I really like. I want from a woman.
Or, and this is what we try to encourage a lot of our listeners to try to do, is look for bitches that played sports.
Yes.
Let me tell
very
you.
much difference.
Let me tell you.
Big difference.
My wife was a big time athlete, and I'm talking about played year round in high school, Division I recruited in field hockey in Baltimore, Maryland. I will be looking at her on her phone, and she's following Baltimore Ravens highlights and shit on her phone. Guess how much she talks about it to me, Anthony? 0. Because she's actually fucking for real interested in it.
Yeah.
And unless it's like some crazy fucking highlight. I'm sorry. Quarterback for the Ravens. This amazing,
Lamar Jackson.
This amazing motherfucker. Jesus. Unless it's like something crazy Lamar Jackson did, she'd be like, hey, come here. Look at this shit. Holy fuck, man. Like, and usually I'll be like, yeah, bitch, we were watching the game. Did you miss it? But it's like, when the bitch is really into sports, this is about how much you hear about it. 0. Because they used to play sports.
Well, isn't a lady that's like that's into sports, I'm doing air quotes, isn't she trying to impress you in some way?
She's trying to be a chameleon.
Yeah. She's trying
she's not really into sports.
She wants to be a part of your environment so that she can show you that she can blend in, be one of the boys. But no, I really don't want you to be one of the boys, because I want a woman.
I know what the listeners are thinking. What is the downside of this? What's the problem with these women? That's what I want you to get into, Anthony. What is the problem with these women that just want to be into the same shit we're into? What is the problem? And let's get to this part of the segment, because, guys, it's a huge problem. And this is for all the guys that like let a girl into the fantasy league, or let a girl.
I was that guy, by the way.
Yeah, let a girl into the Red Pill Phone Tap Facebook group and shit. Now, you and I are the judge, jury, and executioner of our Facebook group. Thank fucking God, because we already ran into this once. But Anthony, what happens? Sounds good so far. These women are just into sports, or they're just into red pill knowledge. What's the problem? Why can't these women be here? What ends up happening?
Well, the grandstanding shit. And I'll give a real life example. My ex was into the New Orleans Saints. She wasn't into football, as she claimed. Sundays were, for me, my religion, right? So I'm on Sunday. I got DirecTV on. I got all the fucking channels to all the games, because in San Antonio I couldn't watch Houston. They had the fucking Dallas Cowboys on, because apparently the fucking Dallas is in San Antonio actually when Houston's closer. But anyway, and that's not. I guess that's not it's not San Antonio's fault. It's just the fucking people there. I don't know how that happened, but
well, it is San Antonio's fault that.
Oh yeah, they let Jerry Jones come to the Alamo Bowl for the what they do during the summer. That's where they train at.
I would say the only thing that I hold San Antonio accountable for in this situation is letting 90% of their population just be
another city.
No fucking morons. That's what I. Yeah.
That's why you. That's why you won't get your own.
That's how we feel about San Antonio.
Right.
Send us your emails. We don't care. You can't shame us. Your city is terrible.
That's why you didn't get the Oakland Raiders.
Hey, by the way, we're being very neutral on politics during this episode, but guess what? We're not neutral on Pittsburgh Steeler fans outside of Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. Pittsburgh Steeler fans that have never lived in Pennsylvania, and everyone from San Antonio. You're not welcome to this program.
Everyone.
I'm sorry, Anthony. I interrupted. Move on. Jesus. San Antonio is a terrible city.
But you can't have women that put their best foot forward by telling you they're into what you're into. They're probably not as into it as you are. And prime example. Tell me that you love sports, and then on Sundays, that's what I'm doing all Sunday. Guess what? There's how many games going on? There's like 6.
There's
14.
16 only. 17 if you watch teams on the bye week.
Well, I'll say that.
It's not that much of the year.
It's like 14 games on Sunday because you got Thursday night football.
I'm sorry.
Sunday and Monday night football. So that takes out 3 games right there. So you got 14 games, maybe 13 games. And if you're a fantasy football player, you're probably watching all the fucking games that you can, especially if you got a balanced team and you got your players spread out throughout the league, right?
And also because it's awesome.
And you need to find out if you can get somebody else that's playing well, right?
Right.
So you're watching games all fucking day, and you're probably drinking. You know, you're probably on your phone, so you're not giving her any attention. So she's gonna shame you and tell you that is football all you're gonna do all day.
All you're gonna do.
I told my ex-wife. I said, before we get into a relationship, you got to understand, if you don't want to spend time with me on Sunday, Monday, and I said Thursday through fucking Monday, watching football, because I watch college sports because I'm a big UT fan. So I'm watching college sports on Saturdays. Excuse me. If you can't deal with that, you might not want to fuck with me. But she took that on because she wanted to spend time with me. But when spending time with me didn't get what she wanted in return, all of a sudden there's something wrong with me enjoying the sports that I enjoy. Now I'm spending too much time in it. Well, you said you enjoyed it just as much as I did. Why did you tell me that? Well, now that you are in a relationship with me, now you think you get to dictate.
And I'm not allowed to date other bitches
or
fuck them.
Now you get to hold me accountable or hostage.
I was about to say, hold me hostage.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, I'm using I did air quotes, but I said hostage is what it really is, to like you're not making me happy now because you're spending more time doing that with that. Well, you were spending that time with me when you wanted me, and now that you have me, now it's too much time.
And I'm here to tell you, Anthony, specifically to what you're talking about, I do not believe a bitch loves sports unless they played sports.
Yeah.
If you love sports so fucking much, why did you never play sports? Yeah. That I was waiting on the answer. There is no answer.
I don't have one for you.
How come you never fucking played sports? By the way, I'm not saying they're not out there, but bitch, I don't believe you. So, no problem. Just sign here. We'll have to date for 4 years until I get in a relationship with
Who's the best female commentator of any sport that you listen to?
Well, I don't know her name, but immediately when you said it, there was this fucking chick that was on during playoff baseball last year during the first round, and I was like, this bitch is amazing.
Okay.
Oh, my God. And by the way, my whole thing on women, I'm sorry, not women, baseball commentators was, why don't you guys talk about
the game?
No, well, about the game. I was going to, more specifically about the type of pitches. Because that duel, okay,
yes,
and they never talk about, like, be patient with me. I'm not going to go deep into this. But why don't they talk about Mariano Rivera only had one pitch that he threw? That's fucking crazy. He didn't have 2 pitches? No. He had 1 pitch that he threw. That's how much movement he had on his fastball. But then the Astros once had a guy named Kirk Saarloos that literally had 8 different pitches.
Damn.
Including what's one of the most rarest pitches you can throw, a slurve. Like, dude, what the fuck? A
curve slider, yeah.
But it's just like, as I describe it, you're probably like, this is fucking super interesting.
Hell yeah.
Did anyone ever mention it? Ever?
No.
Never.
No.
Never. The different, like, to me, when a pitcher hits the mound, they should be like, this guy's a fastball, a slider, a fork fastball, a changeup, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
you know, they should go in because literally some guys can't throw a changeup. They literally can't throw it. It's unavailable. And that's super interesting and important, especially when you're watching pitch by pitch, especially for people that complain that baseball's boring. Yes, it's because
no one explains
the nuances. What the pitches are, right? This fucking chick was amazing at that, Anthony. When have I seen her since? And by the way, gorgeous.
Wow.
I want to find this bitch's name. No, but you just asked me that. You're like, how many women commentators have you heard of?
Well, I was saying it because I didn't know this bitch existed. But I was going to say that if to prove my point and
it's
give
Wesley
the outlier to find.
Well, hold on a second. To your point, that's the only one I can fucking think of.
Yeah,
like at all. You know,
because I just don't hear women commentating about shit that they actually fucking know, that they can speak about it for 3 hours for the whole show and not sound dumb as hell because now they're just repeating themselves because they're only talking about the shit that they know and they can't fucking talk about the game as it's developing and what the nuances are because, one, they never fucking played the game, so they don't even fucking have an idea about what's going on and what the feelings and emotions can be, the anxiety that you may have. So they can't emulate those emotions to the audience because they never felt it themselves. So that's where I was going with that. But if there's somebody out there that's able to do that, that's awesome, man, because I haven't heard of a female being able to do that. I was thinking about football, though. So that's why I had the blind spot because I don't watch baseball on TV like that.
Well, we've had this talk about the coach for the
49ers,
yeah, and by the way, this gal's name is Jessica Mendoza, and I'm here to tell you, there ain't nobody on this fucking broadcast that gives women a pass. That the show you're listening to right now is all about calling women on fuckery. By the way, some might argue this is the real feminist show. We are treating women like equals on this show. And let me tell you, it was the... God damn it, what's her name? Because we gave her a lot of credit. That 49ers female coach. Do you remember her name, Anthony? Because we eventually arrived at the conclusion, like, never mind, this bitch has earned her way.
Right. It began with an S, I think. If I'm...
Because we want to give her credit. Because no bullshit, man. Like, we looked... her name is Katie Sowers.
Yeah.
And we were just like, well, fuck, man.
This bitch is impressive.
This bitch is badass. Yeah, I mean, no, man. I mean, we were just like, fuck, dude.
Man, on your point, I was just fucking saying this at work today. So, we were putting in grease into the fucking fryer. And it was a woman. She comes and says, Anthony, these things are heavy. Can you pour these in here? I said, look, I'm 100% feminist. I believe that you can do anything that I can do. If you're getting paid just like me today, and so I can believe that you can unscrew that shit and put that oil in there by your goddamn self. And so and she stopped. She was like, you're a what? Like, I said, yeah, I'm a true feminist. I believe that you can fucking do this shit just as equally as I can. And get paid. I said equal work for equal pay. And she didn't believe in that shit at the moment because she wanted me to fucking lift up heavy shit and put strain on my fucking back and shoulders and lift up some shit. I was like, wait a minute, you the one that's gonna cook that shit, not me. But you want me to do half the work for your ass. I'm good. I'm gonna watch you do the shit though. And I sat there and watched her. I had shit to do, but I took time to watch her do it and struggle and all that shit. But I was trying to prove a point. I was like, look,
equal pay, man.
If you believe in that shit, I want to see you do it. Don't come ask me to do heavy fucking lifting. What if I say, you know what? Hey, this shit needs to be cleaned up. Come get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you good at. Come clean this shit. You know what I'm saying? You'll be fucking outraged. Right?
Yeah. I found our person since we want to give credit. Jessica Mendoza is her name. And let me tell you, she wasn't even a pitcher, but she was a softball player most of her life. I mean, her resume is fucking kind of like our girl Katie Sowers.
We talked about that. You have to be phenomenal.
But dude,
she is.
Jessica Mendoza's resume is way better than most male commentators. That doesn't mean anything against other males, but I'm just saying she comes with it, dude. She has played softball in the Olympics. She has been a huge... Mendoza is a two-time Olympian and was a member of the U.S. women's national team from 01 to 010. Jesus Christ. From 9 years? Her team took home the gold medal in Athens 04 and the silver medal in Beijing in 08.
Wesley's easily impressed.
I mean, I don't know. Olympic medals impress me a little bit. And a World Cup champion. But you know what? None of that shit impresses me like when I heard her commentating in the MLB playoffs, and she did what I've been asking men to do for years.
But that's what I was going to ask you.
Talk about the pitches.
Her accomplishments isn't impressive alone. Her ability to be able to educate and bring you into the game itself impressed you.
Well, light bulb moments, as you're making me have a light bulb moment here. She was doing shit that other men weren't doing.
Yeah.
She's not just sitting here. And everybody knows the baseball commentator. Guys, this drives me crazy.
We had a coach and a fucking player in the playoffs.
The baseball commentator, they're all imitating somebody from some other year long ago, and they all sound like this. All right. 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch. And fouls it away. You know, last time out here, we had bobblehead night. You know,
exactly.
Lance Berkman bobblehead night. The kids came out. Free Cracker Jack night coming up on Thursday. Fouled away again. And then when the Cracker Jack night came out, you know, coming up on Friday, the kids run the bases
50
for
cent hot
free.
dogs.
50-cent hot dogs. And ball one. 50-cent hot dogs. And in other words, they're convincing you the game's not interesting.
Interesting at all.
Because they can talk about 50-cent hot dog night and the game at the same fucking time. You better believe when Doug Flutie at Boston College threw that ball down to the end zone, they didn't have time to talk about the kids coming down on the football field later on. It's just like, oh, shit. Shit's going on. So it's almost kind of like the commentators are dumbing things down. But this gal, man, she was so good. Jessica Mendoza, she was like, there he goes. He throws that slider again. Now, he likes to throw that slider in 2-1 situations because he feels like he can get a little bit more ahead in the count and try to get himself to a 2-2. A 2-1's not looking good in the count. God forbid you get to a 3-1. You're at a hitter's count, and then he's trying to dig himself
forced
out of
into
the hole
a
from there.
fastball or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, I'm like, holy fuck. This bitch is... But again, guys, Jessica Mendoza is not a chameleon.
No.
She's giving you shit.
Right. That's a big
that guys
difference.
aren't giving you.
Man.
She's not just sitting here on fucking repeats.
Oh, man. Good shit.
You know what I'm saying?
I was wondering when you going to get to
you're
when
like,
you
well, how does this come to chameleons? No, but she's like giving you shit that we've been asking for from guys for a long time. She's not just sitting here being like, you know what? I'm starting to learn. Women are a little bit hypergamous. Thank you. Thank you guys online. And thank you for your likes. I'm just saying. Wait, I may
isn't every woman just waiting to be validated? Isn't that just...
But to your point, Anthony, they won't sit out there in front of women and go, this is bullshit. Y'all are fucking acting like assholes with this fucking feminist shit. Like, they won't do that, but they'll sit up in front of guys and do this shit.
Right.
And preach at us, but hold on, Anthony. Until they get offended. Uh-oh. What happens in these groups then?
Feelings over facts. That's what happens.
Feelings over facts. Feelings over facts. And I don't know what to do except feelings over facts. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, feelings over facts. Guys, I am reluctant to arrive at this conclusion. But these male groups, it's rough to have girls in them, man. Because they're lurking and they're mirroring everything that we're doing for the longest time. And then we get emotionally invested in them. They're like, oh, these women are like us.
Yeah.
These are cool. And then we can't escape that we're protective of women and children. No. That's who we are as men, right?
That's when the white knight starts to come out.
No, well, hold on, Anthony. I don't want to say that every protective instinct we have is white knight. I don't want to say that. What I'm saying, like, when we're protective against a pit bull rushing on a 7-month-old child, can we be like, look at this white knight?
No.
Shouldn't have been in the yard with a pit bull, 7-month-old baby. You dumbass. Coronavirus. No, I mean, I'm just saying, men are protective of women and children.
Instinctively, yeah.
Instinctively. We can't escape it. By the way, men also like, what do you call it again? Vagina. And by the way, hashtag same.
Yeah.
Men like vagina, #same. We are also very protective of women and children, right? So women will get in these manosphere groups, red pill groups, and they'll start saying a lot of the shit we're saying, and we're like, man, this bitch is cool.
Yeah.
Man, I love this bitch.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not fucking her, man, this is a cool friend to have. Man, this bitch is dope. And then somebody says, yeah, but don't date single moms. And like, hold on. Coronavirus. That's the example. I mean, that's like, it just stops dead in the track. Well, I'm a single mom. Yeah, we're literally saying on this program, do not date single moms ever. But I'm a single mom, and I've agreed with everything else you're saying. It doesn't matter. We're telling men not to date you. Well, I'm offended. And then watch how the group reacts, Anthony.
Gotta save these hoes.
Gotta save these hoes, right?
Yeah.
Plus, single moms, that is the ultimate, like, where do you stand? Hold on. Because, Anthony, in one fell swoop, you're including women and children.
Yeah.
In one fell swoop. Right?
Well, women know how to play to our instincts.
Right.
So when we
that's where manipulation really happens.
Exactly. So that's why, and for me, I think women are infiltrating men's spaces on purpose because I think we've gotten their attention. Because we feel that we can live our lives without them. And I think they never thought that would come to a fruition, that men can live their lives without women. How does that make sense? And that's one of the things that I think if we take a step back and see, that's why we talk about the chameleon. They're fighting for survival. They don't want to lose their current lifestyle, so they will blend in the environment to find out, to hide and to find out if they can still survive if they play by these rules. And let's be honest, man. I was talking to a friend of mine actually, and she was asking me about the type of woman I would want, this and that, and I really didn't want to answer the question because I just wasn't in the headspace to even talk about that shit. But I'm always just talking shit, so it's easy for me to just be sarcastic and give an answer to see how she responds and shit. And so I was like, man, I just want a dumb bitch. I want a dumb, beautiful bitch. That's exactly what. Young, dumb, beautiful. That's the bitch I want. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I don't want her. And she was like, you don't want her to be independent thinker? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, no. I want her to follow my program. I want her to get in line to what I have to offer. You know what I mean? Like, I want her to be able to be someone that can get in line with what I want to do moving forward. It doesn't mean that I want I only want a dumb woman, because actually dumb women turn me off. But I do want a woman that's not going to be so into her own shit that she has no room for me. So, but that's what kills me about some women. Women are so independent these days that they have their own fucking agenda in life, that when they do come around to saying they want a man, that man has no room to implement his own agenda. And like what Lester said, we'd be so nice as men that we were like, okay, you can have some of this power. And then they'd be like, no, I want all the fucking power. And then they could say, you a bitch because you let me take the power. And now they stay forever single, man. These type of women stay forever single. But they'll shame you because you're not strong enough. You're not man enough to handle me. And I used to hate that because I'm like, why should I handle you? Are you a fucking wild animal to handle, bitch? Like, why should I have to handle you? You shouldn't be that fucking wild that I gotta handle you with a fucking stick because you're so damn aggressive. You should be domestic. You should be docile. That's what we like in women. That's the attributes and the characteristics we want, not some fucking wild fucking animal we gotta fucking tame and shit.
Anthony, if you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. All right, bitch.
What?
Well, what we're looking for is for you to be at your worst like once every 9 years. Okay, bitch? Not once every week.
What if your worst makes you Carol Baskin?
And feeds us to tigers.
Right. I don't want to ever meet your worst, bitch. Like,
God damn it.
I can't. I had to throw that in, though.
One of the things that I'm talking about in this, when you get into a red pill community and all of a sudden a girl gets offended. We talked about this earlier in the program. When a girl gets offended, does the group, depending on how hot she is, right? Does the group start changing their principles?
Oh, yeah. Especially when...
Do the men start pointing out that meme had nothing to do with your fertility? Even though you're trying to mask it as, you know, women shouldn't be judged by their fertility, and they shouldn't be judged whether or not they're baby making factories. It's like, motherfucker, that seems very specific to you, bitch.
Yeah. She's offended because now
but
she can't
she's talking
offer.
She's talking about all women.
No,
Anthony.
but she specifically can't offer that. Because if she was able to pop out babies right then and there,
she wouldn't say a goddamn word.
Exactly. Guess what? She would actually laugh at the shit.
So this is what happens to men. Okay, in this situation. There's a bitch on there that they become friendly with because they share the same values, and they're like, oh, this is one of the cool ones. This is one of the cool ones. By the way, men don't ever look at other men and go, this is one of the cool ones. If they disagree with other men, there's no fucking problem being like, hey, no problem, let's spar this out. Again, like we were talking about with politics earlier. Hey, let's just discuss ideas. Let's just get this thing going, you know? Let's not be afraid to disagree. But when it comes to women in the manosphere that are agreeing with most of the red pill shit till they're fucking offended, watch how men's principles change. What did we say earlier in the podcast today? If you have principles, but you don't have principles when it's hard, you don't really have principles.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't just have principles when it's easy and then explain that you have principles.
What's one of your hardest principles that you have that you don't live down and people probably kind of give you side eyes about, that you're like, fuck it, I don't care how you feel because that's just who I
am? As far as like, I have no shame. Your shame doesn't affect me.
Right.
I know you don't believe this, but I believe this.
Yeah.
One of my biggest ones is me and my wife will bring bitches home. That is the huge one. We will bring bitches home. And like, well, to be fair, dear, you would bring a guy home too, because you're allowing a girl to come home.
That's called a train, and I'm not gonna.
I have no problem. Well, I have no problem being like, we can bring a girl home but we will never bring a guy home. Sorry. Well, that's not fair. Yep. It's also not fair that the male peacock is much more attractive than the female peacock. I don't know what to tell you. All I know is what to tell you how I live my life. That's all I can tell you. This is how I live my life. Well, Wes, and Donovan Sharp would tell me, well, Wes, don't you think that, like, you leave yourself open? What do we have here?
That shit's delicious, man.
What is it?
Some kind of rice ball with peanuts and...
My wife made us some
delightful
treats. People will be like, Donovan Sharp would say, that leaves you open to her suggesting bringing a guy home. No, it doesn't. Because it ain't going to happen. Well, that's not fair. And I don't give zero fucks.
The bitch that's saying it's not fair ain't even got that opportunity.
By the way,
and I'm not even with you.
By the way, you point out no guy's saying that, right?
At all, man. And that's the thing, man, where sometimes I think women, you gotta listen to it. You gotta listen to people's arguments. Because Wesley and I aren't fucking meatballs or meatheads where you can give a compelling argument and we're not able to listen to you.
I'm listening. Exactly. I'm listening.
If you have a compelling argument, I'm willing to hear you out. Don't try to shame me into seeing your side. You're gonna turn me off to that side by trying to shame me, because now I see you as trying to force me to do something I'm not willing to do without any logical or actual opposing facts to even get me to think about it.
I could see a chameleon really doing that whole, well, that's not fair. You'll bring girls home, but why won't you bring home guys?
That's not how I live my life.
I could see, because a chameleon's going to be like, she's in her alpha energy too. You know what I'm saying? Like in the manosphere, she's acting like one of the guys. And then she's going to shame me like this. Oh, you can't bring another guy in? What's the problem? Are you insecure? Nope. Ain't no other dicks going in my wife. Why? Because that's how it's going. Pause.
Guess what?
End of idea. Like, that's it. Sorry.
It's like people try to insert themselves into a position they're not in. And they want you to come up with some different mindset. And it's like, you know what? If I was married to you, I would be listening to you telling me that you should be able to fuck other dudes. You see why I'm not with you, bitch? That's not how. That's
hang out over there with your cats.
Right.
I don't want to have anything to do with you.
You want to be openly promiscuous in a relationship with other guys. And I know that you have an instinct to look for that anyway. And you want me to be okay with you saying, yeah, that's cool. Go still be hypergamous while I have to commit to you on multiple levels. What the hell?
Sorry, our monitor page has gone off. And my wife brought us like the worst treats during a podcast.
Right, because it's the smackums. You can't eat it without smacking.
Smacking, and I'll have to. Sorry about that, guys. I've never had this food before. Chameleons, guys. I know it sounds like our ideas should be shared with females. And guys, if your personal constitution says you want to have females in your group, because we have females in our group.
Yeah.
But these bitches will be fucking cut off if they start getting cray. That's the difference between our group. We're not going to let men start white knighting and all this other bullshit. If women, like our friend Erlene has an idea that we may or may not agree with, but she doesn't start acting like a huge victim. And, whoa, guys, who's with me? She stands on her own, by the way. We've been talking about that a lot tonight. Standing on your own. And to Erlene, our friend who is in our Facebook group, to her credit, she stands on her own.
Yeah.
She doesn't need somebody else's support. She doesn't need men to come to her aid. She doesn't need to cancel out someone's opinion because she's offended. We've never experienced that so far. So yes, we have women in the group, but guarantee we will, what does Negan say?
We will shut that shit down.
If they start censoring people and getting offended and all that fucking crazy fuckery that they do. To the girls in our group's credit, though, they don't fuck around. Let's get to the last segment, Anthony. I'm so happy that we didn't go over too bad on our first two segments, because this last segment, I really feel like this has the potential to be the gold of Podcast 24. Because a lot of the guys that tune into our program, they're just now starting to date after a bad breakup. We always know men come to the red pill after a terrible, terrible breakup. And, all right, there was a spider crawling on my desk. I'm literally about to pull a pin out of a grenade and just leave it in here and just be like, got the spider, motherfucker. Sorry about that,
Hey,
everybody.
take the mics with us, though.
So, yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm really, really passionate about this next topic because a lot of guys that are starting to date recently, or if you're just starting dating, whatever, you're going to read a great book like How to Be a 3% Man by Corey Wayne. Or you're going to go on YouTube and you're going to see great videos from Alpha Male Strategies or AMS. And you're going to get like all these fucking great dating ideas and these great fundamentals. And this just recently happened with Bob. Our buddy Bob that we're coaching. He went out on a date with a chick that he didn't really have high interest in. Right? And she was a bigger girl. And if you're listening to the podcast, ladies, men don't like fat bitches. Just heads up. I'm sorry. I know Oprah told you that when you were 400 pounds, you're just as beautiful as a Victoria's Secret model. I digress. Anyways, he went out with a girl that was a bigger girl, so he didn't really care that much. And so she started texting him the next day, and he started texting back a lot. What is the fundamentals of dating, Anthony, with texting?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. The phone is for setting dates. But he's like, yeah, but I don't really care about that bitch too much.
This sounds like you.
Thank you, Anthony. I'm glad you called me out on this. Thank you so much. Because I want our listeners to know we have some real experience on this podcast of doing this dumb shit. And it's me. If I was like, I don't really care about this bitch so much. Let me see if I can do this shit over here with the texting and next thing you know, this bitch is only a 4 and I'm getting dissed by her. This bitch is like a good 200 pounds, wears way too much eyeliner. The pictures on her dating app are like her like 180 11 pounds.
Damn.
And I should have been offended that I showed up and bitch was 100 pounds more. But no, I'm being cool. I'm just letting her do whatever, right? No, dude. I'm doing all the wrong shit, and this fucking 4, she disses me.
Mm.
Let me tell you guys.
That gotta be a sick feeling, right?
It's a very... Let me tell you guys how much that fucks with your confidence when a 3 or a 4 sends you that text like, nah, I'm good. That will fuck you up. You'll be like, oh, shit. Maybe I'm not as hot as I thought I was. Maybe I'm not as... maybe my dick is tiny. I don't know. It will send you spiraling. It will... I'm sorry, Anthony. We're always supposed to believe in ourselves no matter what, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When you was talking...
Let a 3 or a 4 diss you because you did some dumb shit and watch your confidence spiral. Yeah. I'm just trying to be realistic.
Yeah, your mentality is like, wait, what? We'll talk about sports a little bit. It's not a side note, it's more like an example. I remember playing this team. It was Memorial High School. We were faster than them. We were more athletic than them. We easily out talented them.
Y'all were easily more black than them,
basically,
which typically means way better football team. I'm just trying to like let people know outside of Houston what that looks like.
But these motherfuckers had fundamentals out the ass, and they knew.
God, I love this story. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I already love this story before it ends.
They knew that they were out talented and out, and not even out coached. I want to say that they out coached us because they stuck to what they were great at and what they understood worked. Because fundamentals is all about blocking and tackling in football. So if you can block the man in front of you, it doesn't matter that he can run a 4.40. He would have to use that to catch you because you're going to run right by him because you were technique-wise blocked well. So now you have to play catch-up. And even if this guy runs a 4.9, your 4.4 is still slow because you were blocked well. You can eliminate talent by fundamentally being better than her. She can be a 9 and a 10 talent-wise, but your fundamentals increase her attraction. And she don't understand why she's losing this game because she easily out-talent you in the looks department, but your fundamentals are fucking immaculate.
This bitch is like, the last date I went on, this dude picked me up in a Lambo. What the fuck?
Right. And I'm in my pussy wet with this guy. I don't get it. She don't get it. It's the fundamentals. You got to do the shit right. It don't matter if she's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have to do your fundamentals correctly.
Yeah, but Anthony, I see what you're saying. On the 9s and 10s, make sure to stay on your fundamentals. But I don't really even want this bitch. I'm just hanging out with her when the other bitches don't call.
This is what happens. I love that you said that. I love that you said that. Because you think, you idiot, that you're going...
Thank you for saying that.
...to say, because she's a 9 and a 10, I'm going to follow the rules. No, you're not. Because
you're not used to doing that.
Exactly. Shit. This is not secondhand for you. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to be like, I can't lose this bitch. You're going to go spend thousands of dollars to get a fucking advice from a PUA guy that convinced you on YouTube to follow him, and he's going to give you great advice to keep this chick that when you're dating models. Hey, I date models, and no, guess what, man? You need the fundamentals no matter who you're dating, any opportunity, any female. This is why even if I'm not interested in a female, I still practice my fundamentals. I still increase interest. I don't even know what's going to happen in that interaction because guess what? Doing your fundamentals, you end up uncovering shit. Because you know what happens when you...
Please speak to that, because you talk about this a lot, dude. You follow your fundamentals. You end up uncovering like this 5 or 6 that you're out on a date with. She will tell you some cool shit. You'll be like, wow, this was a really cool date.
I gained value out of the conversation because I followed my fundamentals. Because part of my fundamentals is that no woman, no matter who she is, gets special privileges. She don't get special treatment because she's hot or because she likes the same shit I like. She don't get special privileges for luckily being in the same fucking city that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not giving her anything that she hasn't earned. Just like she's not going to give me anything I haven't earned. Guys, if you have sexual chemistry with a woman, she doesn't have to give you sex, right? You don't have to give her sex. Have you been on a date where a woman was more attracted to you than you was to her? Sure. Did you give her sex, or did you be like, I gotta give her sex because she came out with me and she likes me,
right?
So I gotta give it to. Did you have that mentality going in? No, you know what I mean. So think about this. That's why I said, guys, don't feel guilty for fucking being such a 3% guy that you made her interest so high that she can't not stop thinking about having sex with you, right? So be comfortable and be okay with doing that, no matter if it's a 2, 3, 4, 5. You shouldn't be dating these motherfuckers. And anyway.
Bitches want to fuck too.
Yeah,
bitches want to fuck too.
Exactly. They're getting
that
something.
Pittsburgh Steeler girl that I brought up earlier. She never ever shamed me. She was like, "Are you gonna disappear on me and not respond to my texts?" I'm like, "Nope." But am I going on a date with you ever again? Nope. But I'm not dodging you. I'm just letting you know subtly.
Yeah,
I'm not going to fucking diss you.
Right.
But I'm letting you know subtly, we're not going down anymore. Yeah. But, hey, we had a nice time. And by the way, she was like, yeah, we had a nice time. Thank you. You were much higher above me, and you fucked me. And cool, I got that. And by the way, Pittsburgh Steelers fan, if you're listening to the show, good on you. You caught me. We were watching a good football game. We had a little too much to drink, and you got me.
And shit happened.
Yeah, and shit happened. That is one of those, like, can't believe I slept with that bitch moments.
I wanna, because I cook, so I always gonna bring an example from this. I want guys to get it this way. Understand it this way. When we talk about dating, not so high attractive women, you got to look at You got to look at you building your game up to as you're cooking a recipe, right? The ingredients alone may not taste good by themselves, but when you put them together to make something. Because if you, let's say, this is such a good take when we're talking about fundamentals in dating. This is such a good take because a recipe requires you to do the same fucking thing every time. Yep. The best recipes are not left with a lot of creativity. Right. It's about doing, all right, put water on to boil. Well, hold on. Let's put some let's put some orange juice on to boil. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's different, right? Let's do some different shit. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, this pasta,
is this is a really, really fancy angel hair pasta. Maybe let's not boil water. Let's boil some red wine and throw that in the. We'll throw the pasta in that.
Red wine evaporates, motherfucker.
Yeah, it evaporates like a motherfucker. It's not going to taste the same as when you put it in water.
You have all kind of tannins.
Dumbass.
Yeah. So the ingredients alone don't taste. Let's say we're baking a cake, and let's say you say, "Hey, man, I'm baking a cake," and let's say we need some flour for the cake. You're like, "Cool." Put some flour. You taste the flour. You're like, "Oh, that's gross. I don't think I like cake." Well, motherfucker, that's not it. You need more.
It's the whole thing that's going on.
Yeah, you can't just date 9s and 10s.
But time out. I've cooked cakes in the past.
Okay.
And they came out good when I added this much flour.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I want to make a really fancy cake this time.
So
this
more
is for
flour.
A wedding.
So more flour.
Man, 3 times the flour. At least, right? That's what motherfuckers when they're dating like hot bitches always do.
And now you're doing too fucking much.
Doing too much.
And it don't look good. It don't taste good. And she's like, I thought you were a baker. I thought you was a good baker. You said you was a great baker.
Yeah, I'm good. Watch how much icing I put on this bitch. Right. Watch this shit. Holy shit. But dude, it's weird. With Bob this week, we saw with the recipe, to your point, we saw a girl that he was not interested in getting much more text from him. Like, he feels bad that... Let's be honest. He feels bad that she's not hot. And she dated him during coronavirus. That's the only thing I can figure out, to be honest. And he's just very much like, well, I don't want to not answer her texts. Let me be cool. Let me be nice. And meanwhile, and by the way, I saw photos of this girl. This girl is 3 or 4 level on a scale of 1 to 10. She's a big girl. And she has bad tattoos. Let me tell you, ladies, for you ladies that are listening to the program, far and few between, let me tell you what men really want when it comes to tattoos. We want you to have 0 tattoos. And if you can follow that rule, and if you only break the rule once or twice, you're doing really, really good. Tattoos is more of a masculine thing. It really is. Men like having tattoos, but we're not going to go like, oh, what the fuck? And men have tattoos? Is that fair that women are not allowed to have tattoos?
This a new...
Is it fair that y'all have titties and we don't? God damn it, man. Masculine and feminine energy are very different. And tattoos is more of a masculine energy thing. I don't know, Anthony. I cut you off.
I was going to say, isn't this a new realization for you, too?
It is. And we talked about that on a past podcast. I don't want to go too far into this. Yeah. But I was convinced in my past blue pill world that it's only fair that women have tattoos also. And there are, and by the way, I'm not oblivious. There are great feminine tattoos that work. But a lot of these tattoos, and I'm saying a lot of them, let me just be clear. 98% of these tattoos are not looking good on women, especially when you put them on your titties, when you put them on the center of your chest. Like, a lot of this shit is not looking good, ladies. Not looking good.
It screams some issues.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that in that you had to date, let's say you was like, it's only fair, so I can only, if I got so many tattoos, I gotta date women with tattoos. So,
oh yeah, but I gotta have some guilt going in, right?
Right. So you're eliminating all women without tattoos, and then you realize you're like, wait, I got one with no tattoos, and I find that shit super
way more
sexy.
Attractive. Yeah.
So it's like you can't eliminate. I'll say this to Bob. I've dated, below what I can attract. Okay? It wasn't because I couldn't get someone better. And it didn't make me feel higher. Because actually I know that I'm going below what I can attract. So
that's such a good take. It didn't make you feel higher because you know you're lower right now. Yeah, it didn't give you a sense of power, did it?
No. So you're thinking that, I just get to play around with this one. She has the same instinctual mentalities and behaviors as other women. So you playing around is just you fucking up.
Yeah.
You're not blocking right. You're not tackling right. And this team that's less talented than you is beating you in the game. And you don't know why.
Not as athletic.
Not as fast.
Not as strong.
And they don't have as better. They don't have the plays that you got. You have fucking Mike Shanahan calling plays in high school.
No shit.
And you still losing. And you don't know why. And guess what? When you go play a better team, you don't know how to fucking stick to your fundamentals, so you're going to fuck that up too.
Right.
Now you're on a losing streak, and your mindset going to be fucked up because you're like, I thought I had this shit handled. I thought I knew what the fuck I was doing. But no, because you are not sticking to your fundamentals, man.
So
where's my goddamn preacher towel? I need to be... Because I'm preaching the goddamn word right now, man.
But let me tell you, you are preaching the word right now, because you're gonna go on these 5 or 6 bitches you do not care about, right? And you're gonna over text. And god damn it, guys, I can't give you this public service announcement enough. Stop texting. For the love of God, will you fucking stop texting? Every time someone asks me for advice, they're like, "Oh, hold on a second. Man, this on my text thread. What should I have done?" Motherfucker, get off the text thread! Jesus Christ! Please, God, stop texting. Motherfucker, get their phone number. Talk to them on the phone. Set the date. Move on. God damn it, I can't fucking talk to you enough about this.
But it's coronavirus season.
Coronavirus! Coronavirus! By the way, Bob, the gentleman I'm coaching, Bob has been on... hold on. Let me make sure I count this up correctly. 1, 2, 3... 4 dates during coronavirus on Long Island, New York, motherfuckers. The heart of the coronavirus outbreak. The heart of the coronavirus outbreak. And he's been on fucking 4 dates. Wrap your mind around that, motherfuckers. And, by the way, he got laid on every one except one. And on the other one, he just wasn't attracted to the bitch. Okay? But I'm pointing this out because I don't want Bob's fundamentals to fucking get off. He's sitting there texting this bitch back and forth that he's not interested in. He's like, who cares about fundamentals? I don't care about that shit. And then as Anthony points out, next thing you know, later on, if you're not following your fundamentals, you're getting beat by Memorial. You're getting fucking beat. And then next thing you know, you're getting beat by a Memorial and you're fucking scrambling. You're like, oh, shit. And then you're trying to compensate with these other bitches you're talking to. Yep. And then next thing you know, I'll never forget this because I was on the phone with him when it happened. So I was telling Bob, I was like, dude, you have to get home. And instead of sitting there and thinking about your ex, you got to get home and think about, what am I going to say? What the fuck am I going to do next time some shit like this goes down? I was like, Bob, you don't understand. You might meet a unicorn. I'm like, right now, I'm talking to you on the phone. It's 3:32 p.m. Central. you might meet a unicorn at 4:01 Central Time.
You're not ready for it.
You ain't ready for it because you're not fucking thinking about this shit. You're just saying, oh, God, my past relationship. I was weak. I was weak in the relationship. I could have done better. I should have done better. This motherfucker, I was on the phone with him. I'm not making this up. I want everybody to know this really fucking happened. He was driving in his car, talking to me, doing a coaching session on the phone, driving in his car, caught in traffic, a cute blonde on Long Island up in New York was jogging down towards his car, looks in his car, stops and goes, does a double take and then like smiles at him. He had no plan in place.
What? Wait.
Hold on.
Wait,
I'm not dogging on him for that.
Wait. I just want to know what happens. I'm all
No.
intrigued.
He didn't know what to do. Hold on. There's a happy ending to this story.
Please tell me he found this bitch.
No, he didn't find this bitch because Anthony, we know in real life, once you miss an opportunity with a chick,
yeah, it's over.
It's gone.
It's over, man.
We always talked about that one bitch at Berry Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we always talk about that one bitch that you saw. Everybody in the bar saw me pull this one bitch off to the side. And we're like, oh, this motherfucker here, this is about to go down. Mm-hmm. Never got the phone number. Fail. You are a no-go at this station, soldier. You are a fucking no-go.
They don't give you credit.
You don't get credit.
Even
though you built up all that attraction,
yeah.
You didn't get the phone number, you're done.
You can't be playing off to the next day thinking like, oh, well, she gonna give me credit for all the shit I did.
Right.
Nope.
Right. So I told him, and I fucking put it in his head. I was like, motherfucker, you did not, again, because you've been focusing on all this other bullshit with your ex and all this other bullshit. You did not have a fucking plan if a blonde jogged by your car and double-taked you and was like, I was like, when I was single, brother, that's the kind of shit that drove me crazy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that drove me crazy. I didn't have a play in my playbook if a blonde jogged by, double-taked on me, and was like, damn, look at this fucking snack. During coronavirus, where women are super thirsty because they don't have availability to men like they once did. They're like, rawr.
Yeah.
And she just went rawr at Bob. And he had no play in the playbook. And I told him, I was like, dude, that should drive you crazy.
Mad.
That you had no play in the playbook. Because he didn't. And he's asking me for a play. He's like, oh, my God, this girl just did this. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Why the fuck are we still on the phone?
Well, yeah, that. But it's also like, bruh, I've been out of the dating game for a minute. I'm not sharp on this shit. I'm not trying to act like I am. I mean, if you ask me to go back into my fucking catalog, I mean, give me a minute. I could go back into this shit. I remember during our dating episode, which, by the way, Anthony, we need to identify our dating episode so we can continually advertise that podcast number.
Okay.
Because that comes up a lot, by the way. But I was like, man, dude, you need to have a cataloged, like, what are you going to do? And I suggested to him, I was like, dude, women want to fucking hear clever shit when you meet them and when you're texting them. They don't want to hear, and I use this extreme example, they don't want to hear, like, texting or talking on the phone to their parents. Hey, what'd you do today? Well, I went down to the supermarket, and guess what? They didn't have very good oranges. And I went up to the supermarket manager. I was like, hey, you didn't have good oranges. You had good oranges last Thursday. and you didn't have very good oranges today. I'm very disappointed in you. And then he told me, he's like, we didn't have good oranges on Thursday. I don't know why you said that. The last oranges that came in weren't very good.
Oh, my gosh. Stop.
And that's what a lot of guys sound like when they're answering, what are you doing? It's very much like they're not literally asking, what are you doing? When bitches say WYD, they're being like, entertain me, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Entertain me.
Yeah.
And I told Bob, I said, hey, texting is like dating. Hang out, have fun, hook up. It never changes. You guys that are overanalyzing dating, you drive me fucking nuts. Hang out, have fun, hook up. There's a reason that Corey Wayne puts have fun in the middle, because it's the most important part. And I told him, I was like, hey, dude, here's the thing. Texting, it's got to be fun. It's got to be like you said something clever where they stop texting everybody else.
Right.
And they're like, oh, my God.
Right.
What is he fucking talking about? He's fucking crazy. Why did he say that? And I used an example with him. I was like, one time a girl was like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm over here putting together an intricate sex trafficking ring. Do you want to be part of my sex trafficking ring? I feel like, I mean, you and I have had sex before, so I know you like sex. Do you want to be part of my sex trafficking ring? I know that she stopped messaging everybody else. Be like, why are you fucking saying that? You're fucking crazy.
Right.
You're fucking, stop. You're fucking crazy. I know that. So the end of the story is just so grand. He's like, hey, this girl's texting me. Like, what do I say? And I wasn't able to get back to him in time. And he goes, never mind. I texted her. She said, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm looking for a serum for the coronavirus so I can finally take your ass out. We can get off lockdown. And then all of a sudden, this girl's like, oh, my God, you're fucking crazy. And started asking him a bunch of questions. He's like, dude, she's like, rapid fire texting me. What do I do? And I was like, dude, tell her you're asking too many questions.
Let's go on a date.
FaceTime. Well, FaceTime. During the coronavirus, FaceTime is kind of the same thing as a date.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't heard from Bob, but I have a feeling they FaceTimed. And it was just like, he said something clever, like, I'm looking for a serum
You standing
for
out.
coronavirus.
You
He wasn't
standing
all
out.
like,
Yeah.
I went to the produce section. No, they usually have very good cucumbers. They didn't have any cucumbers. They were completely out of cucumbers this time.
See?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I really like a good cucumber salad, and I love cucumber sandwiches as well. But I went down, well, where am I going to get cucumbers?
Oh my God, please. The thing about fundamentals, man, is that when you are an expert at them, it's not something you have to fucking think about.
Yes.
You just do that shit because that's just who you are. Your fundamentals are on what they used to say, on fleek. You know what I'm saying? Your fundamentals are basically your conversation. I remember I was talking to somebody who texted me asking me for advice, and I was like, he was like, man, how do you just come up with this shit? And
I've got this shit on tap, dude.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, dude, when someone asks me for a draft beer and if I own a bar, I got shit on tap.
Exactly.
I'm not like inventing beers when they fucking ask for beer.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want an IPA? Let me go back in the kitchen and invent some fucking beer.
Yeah.
No, I have beer on fucking tap, dude.
I know what the fuck I'm doing. And it's a big difference when you're trying to figure out what to do versus you done this shit so many times. Because guess what? You did it with the 5s. You did it with the 4s.
Thank you.
You did it with
because you did it with the 5s. You did it with the 4s. You got this shit down. You're not just going to fucking show up and not play because it's a 4 and a 5 team. That's bad athleticism, man. Come on, man.
You're better than that.
You're better than that. If it's a 4 and a 5 and you're a 10 caliber team, Motherfucker, you better win by 50 points.
Right. This is why fans get upset when you're a 10 team and you only win by 3 against a 4 team, and you're like, but we won. But I don't get it. We won.
And you can't do that in college football.
No,
sir.
It counts against you. You should have blew this team out, but you didn't, so you don't get to go to the playoffs. That's one of the things that you do when you are a great fundamental team, or just a great. Who's the greatest fundamental player of all time? To me, is Larry Bird.
Yep.
Hands down, like fucking
talk shit like crazy though.
Right, because he owned fundamentals. The same thing with Michael Jordan, the fundamental master. Michael Jordan did fly shit, like unbelievable shit, but his fundamentals is what got him 50, 60 points in games. He wasn't dunking every fucking point. He wasn't shooting threes from half court every fucking. No, it was his. Okay, you're not. You're giving me too much space. I got a shot over you.
But dude, I feel like the reason Michael Jordan existed was because of Larry Bird. Because Michael Jordan Michael Jordan respected Larry Bird so much. Yeah. He was not gonna do fly shit and let Larry Bird be like, you don't have fundamentals.
Right.
He was never, dude. Guys,
it's a reason.
YouTube the rivalry between Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. By the way, they're still best friends this fucking day.
Respect, though. It came from respect. And guess what? Michael Jordan never did a commercial with anybody other than Larry Bird.
I didn't realize that until you said it. You're right.
He was always by himself. The only person that shared his space was fucking Larry Bird. That was the
story.
respect.
I didn't even realize that until you said it.
Yep.
And it's just, yeah, dude, all fundamentals. And then people don't realize Larry Bird could be playing the worst team in the league, and that motherfucker wasn't going to, like, not be fundamental. It didn't matter if he was playing the fucking New York Knicks or the fucking Indiana Pacers or, back in that day, the Golden State Warriors that were terrible. You're getting the same Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Larry Bird's on the ticket. You pay the price of admission. You're going to get Larry Bird. He's not going to fucking hang out and, like, not. That's what we're talking about, guys. You have to stay on fundamentals. But the big lesson here is, guys, what we've been kind of holding back. If you don't do the fundamentals with the 4 and 5s, you're not going to be ready when that blonde bitch jogs by your car. Okay? You're not going to be ready. And then when I sent him home with that dread of, like, you see, motherfucker, you weren't prepared. You were too busy thinking about this dumb bitch you used to date. You're too busy. You didn't have a plan for a bitch running by your car. I was like, there's so much fucking cool shit you could do talking about coronavirus and shit, and you're not even taking advantage of it. And that's all I said to him. And the next thing I know, he's texting a bitch being like, well, I'm looking for the serum for coronavirus so we can hang out. And she's just like, oh, that's so fucking funny. You're so fucking funny. Oh my God.
And look how easy that is. I mean,
because he pre-planned it. He fucking planned it because I shamed him.
Yeah.
That's not good for our first segment, is it?
We mentioned it. Shaming can be good because if you're being a slut, you shouldn't probably be a slut.
Maybe. Hashtag.
I mean, hey, do you, boo? If that's what you want to do. If you want to be out here and just,
Wait a second, Anthony. There's like this crazy fucking double standard. It's like if they sleep with a lot of girls, they're like fucking cool.
True.
But if girls sleep with a lot of guys, they're fucking sluts, and it's not fucking fair. Yeah, it's not the same fucking
fair.
shit.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? We got disadvantages too. We ain't shitting out here crying about the shit.
Yeah. Well,
We just live in it.
also, when men sleep with a lot of women, it makes them more attractive
To women.
to women. If women sleep with a lot of men, it makes them less attractive to men.
This kills me, man. Women knows that. Women know this. They
absolutely
act like they don't.
fucking know this, and they act like they don't fucking know it.
Right. And they'll sit here and want the same guy that their best friend wants, that their mom wants. You know what I'm saying? All the women they know want this same guy that they want. They will still sleep with him if they slept with all the women that wanted him to. So this bullshit.
As long as they were the last bitch standing that got him into a relationship, they'd be like, "Got him!"
Right. And
Yeah.
she don't give a fuck how many people he fucked already. This is true. This is why you hear sisters sleeping with the same guy and getting in a relationship with the fucking sister. This is
True
this
story.
Is the same shit, but women pretend
Or mother and daughters.
yeah.
I've experienced in my life.
I'm not gonna speak on mine.
All right, I will not expose you.
Thank you.
Someone that I know that is also on this podcast has slept with mother daughters. And I too have done that, and also have done the sister thing. But this is very natural. It's very natural for women to always want the guy in the group. I mean, this is just very, very natural. I don't know. Anthony, part of me wonders, are we going to reach anybody this week?
Yeah, we better. This was a damn good podcast.
You're like, if I don't... Oh, my goodness. Anthony, please lay off the piano, please.
My bad. I was hyped.
You were hitting those keys pretty hard.
All right, I'm back up a little bit.
All right, thank God. I gotta say, this week, these were 3 very passionate topics. I know, and I appreciate all of the current activity that we're getting. I think that we are going to be making a move to Patreon pretty soon.
Does that mean more content?
That means more content for people. Also, because we're getting some good results from our coaching. I know you've been doing some of your stuff. I've been doing some of my stuff. I think we can hold our head high with some experience that the coaching's been going well. And I think we can realistically move forward saying the Red Pill Phone Tap coaching is coming. We wanted to make sure, guys, that we were
providing value.
Yes. Thank you, Anthony. You finished my sentence way better than I would have. We want to make sure that we're providing value. Because, again, guys, principles are easy when things are going well. But we want to have these same principles when things are hard as well. I hope you guys never have to realize that coaching people to be their best selves is far more challenging than I think any of us thought it would be. As we kind of dip our toe in the water. Right, Anthony? I don't think we'd have ever predicted how hard it is. But you know what? You're doing something valuable, it's probably hard, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. It's just hard.
Yeah. It's fun, but hard. It's kind of like playing football, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. That's the end of this podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, always glad to have you guys. Always appreciate your support, your commentary, your questions. I look forward to it every week.
Me too.
And it's because of you guys. And this is a great topic. Thank you, Wesley, for bringing this forward. And
I don't know why you're thanking me, but I'm thanking all of your thanks.
Cool.
Listen, fellas, if you want to reach out to us on Red Pill Phone Tap on Facebook. Become part of our group. That way you can see us live stream. You can put all of your questions in there. The Red Pill Phone Tap at gmail.com. The Red Pill Phone Tap at gmail.com. We love you guys. We hope you have a great week. It looks like we're coming out of this coronavirus. Hopefully you guys come out with us on the other side.